I'm here. I am here. This is what we going through. Excuse me. Stay with me. This is what we going through. This is a house that she kept them kids at, y'all. Everything got to get thrown away. You ain't never lied. Everything. They trying to have somebody clean that. We can't clean that. It's over. Get it up. Get that out of here.
All right, what's up with it, y'all? So look, man, I'm back again with another video, and this isn't your typical update, but it is an update. So basically, you know, this is the house that the three children were living in. They were by themselves for the past 4.5 years. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it was three children that have been left at home by their, you know, biological parent for the past 4.5 years, you know, and she dropped off food weekly. She did certain things that people wouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to get everything in details, all you got to do is go back a video or two on my page and you'll be able to get the full rundown on everything. But anyway, let's go ahead and move forward. So basically, you know, this is a young lady who has a cleaning service, if I'm not mistaken. I only caught the end of the video. So I'm going to watch a few minutes of what I didn't see, and then I'm going to get up off here and let y'all go ahead and check everything out. But, you know, from what I was seeing, it looks like it was black mold on the floor, which can really take your life. Just basically everything that they did tell us in the news.
This is what we going through. Excuse me. Stay with me. This is what we going through. This is a house that she kept them kids at, y'all. Everything got to get thrown away. You ain't never lied. Everything. They trying to have somebody clean that. We can't clean that. It's over. Get it up. Get that out of here.
All right, what's up with it, y'all? So look, man, I'm back again with another video, and this isn't your typical update, but it is an update. So basically,
coming and bring. Oh, Lord.
dropping off food.
Turn that gas off. That stuff should be already hooked out. Let me show y'all. That's all electric. Watch out, some might run out.
Show damn right. Somebody bite you like they rat on Martin.
Pull it out, bro. Pull it all. Yeah. Pull it out. My people ain't come to play, baby. Pull it out. We on the time frame. Get that shit up out of here. Watch out, Dave. Gotta take it out.
Look at them. Wow. Damn.
We taking that stove out, y'all. We taking the stove out.
Oh, yeah. And when I say certain stuff, it's not to belittle them, talk bad about them or anything, because they are children. They've been in there since they were like 9, 10 and stuff like that. You feel me? I'm only just saying, look at the conditions that they're living in. It's just really sad and unfortunate that it was like that. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, like I was saying in my other video, a lot of people were saying the kids should have left out the house. They should have did this. They should have did that. Man, stop blaming these children and blame the parents. They're supposed to.
Ooh, well, they had to pull a carpet up in here. I'm glad they opened up the windows. This refrigerator got to go too, so you might as well grab this. I can't make no phone calls, honey. I'm on live. Sorry, baby. I'm on live. Ooh-wee. Hey, Dave. What are you about to do? Okay. My people put that out. Get it a little bit. Pull it right there in the front. That's it. It could just go right there. The refrigerator coming next. We can't clean that. Go on and take that refrigerator out, You see if you get your leather gloves, they're in that bag. You good? You good, I got you. It's nasty.
I don't know how I feel about her live streaming this, man. I hope this ain't no family member. I hope this isn't a family member coming to like try to like act like they doing something now. Is this a family member acting like they trying to do something now? After 4 or 5. She sounded like a family member that didn't do nothing for the last 5 years and just it dropped the ball and trying to do something now. She sounded like a family member who didn't do nothing for the last 5 years and trying to act like they doing something now. Press 1. Something ain't right about this lady, man. Who live streaming this? Who would live stream this, man? Who would live stream this? Who would live stream this? Unless they was trying to you gotta give these kids some dignity, man. Give them kids some dignity, man. Let them kids have a little bit of dignity, man. Something ain't right about this shit, man. I don't like the way she talking. The things she's saying, it's not appropriate. The things she saying and the way she talking about the situation is not appropriate. There's not enough sensitivity, man. She not handling the situation with enough sensitivity.
You are. Okay. Okay. My people put that out. Get it a little bit. Pull it right there in the front. That's it. It could just go right there. The refrigerator coming next. We can't clean that. Go on and take that refrigerator out, You see if you get your leather gloves, they're in that bag. You good? You good, I got you. This nasty bitch. Look at this down here, y'all. You already know. They finna pick that up too. Oh, they ain't finna pick that up? It don't matter who pick it up. It gotta get picked up, baby.
Oh, yeah.
What y'all wanna do with the washer and the dryer? We throwing that out too, or that's the people's?
I gotta call him again to see what he gonna do with that.
Okay. I know that's right.
Yeah,
just call him, but tell him you ain't gotta tell him nothing. I ain't moving that.
Yeah.
We good. Sorry, Dave. Look at my aunt ready.
School ready to get that check.
Ooh, they failed.
I don't blame you.
Take the refrigerator out. This ought to be ashamed of herself, y'all. Look at this.
She need life.
What's on? I don't know how to turn the water off, honey. It's running? Oh, what's that? Oh, can somebody turn the water on, please?
The live streaming, I said if she's a family member, I don't like her live streaming it. If she's a family member and trying to act like she doing something big now that 5 years in the past and they didn't do nothing for 5 years, and plus I don't like the tone, I don't like what she's saying, I don't like the things she's saying. I do think this does need to be captured for posterity. I do think it needs to be captured as part of the investigation, man. This is part of the court case. I do think that the footage needs to be captured. I'm not saying that. It's just that, like, yo, kids lived in this for like 5 years. Kids that were mentally so beaten down by their mother that they were scared to leave the house. And she not approaching it with the adequate sensitivity. That's what I'm saying. She's not handling this with the adequate sensitivity. Shout out to Louis Barrow. He says, when Cairo become a Sun team, what if he wants to be a drill rapper? My nephew too. And when he get to be a Sun team, I hope he don't start drill rapping. It'll probably be something else out then, man. Drill rapping will probably run its course by then, but I don't know, man. I hope not, man. Who knows, man? You can't tell kids, you listen, you can't stop it, man. You can't stop them from doing stuff like that, man. You can just, you got to prepare them all the way along the way, man. It starts now. You're right. Making sure your kid's not a drill rapper starts now. It starts now. And then they still might become a drill rapper because kids are impressionable and kids want to fit in. All you can do is the most you can, but they still might become a drill rapper. Shout out to you, man.
That's all this get out. They even got to pull that flow up. Look at the refrigerator. Oh, wait, Lord Jesus. It is ridiculous. But you're going to have to get a little bit. Pull it out. Is that water still coming out?
They need a school up there, another school to help. No, schools be strong as hell.
Oh, God.
All right, man. I'm tired of hearing her voice, man. I'm tired of hearing her voice.
Guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video.
That whole time. Welcome to 7 News Detroit at 6. I'm Karen. Regarding 3 children that investigators say were abandoned for years inside a Pontiac home. Where was the mom living that whole time? Welcome to 7 News Detroit at 6. I'm Carolyn Clifford.
And I'm Mike Duffy. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, Kelly Bryant is facing federal charges of child abuse after investigators discovered her children living in filth and squalor for years. And today, our team found out where Bryant may have been living.
And that's not all. 7 News Detroit reporter Sarah Michaels is also listening to the children's grandparents tonight and a neighbor who says he actually had interactions with the kids before.
Up until this point, many of us believed that the 3 children living in this home had no contact with anyone except for their mother for nearly 5 years. Well, today we learned that at least a handful of times they did call out to a neighbor. Was it just that one time?
Maybe 2 or 3 times.
A father himself, Jamar Johnson, tells me he felt the need to share that he heard the 3 kids abandoned in squalor in this Pontiac home. For 6 months, he has lived 2 doors down, and occasionally they yelled out their window to him.
It's, they say, hey, nice car. But, and I might wave back at them, but that's it. There's no way that I could have known that they were in a terrible situation.
Johnson.
Yeah, you can't blame this guy. People gonna try to blame this guy. This guy not smart, man. This guy not smart, man. Niggas looking for somebody to blame. I wouldn't have said shit. Why you ain't do nothing? Motherfucker, I just moved around here, man. I ain't know that shit was going on.
There's no way that I could have known that they were in a terrible situation.
Johnson says, how could he know that the room the children were calling from was stacked 4 feet high with mold, feces, and trash? He says he never saw them outside, but he saw their mother, 34-year-old Kelly Marie Bryant.
She would be outside for hours and hours with a friend.
Johnson says Bryant was
Wow.
always in a car with a friend. He never saw her
Wow.
crash. He says he never saw them outside, but he saw their mother, 34-year-old Kelly Marie Bryant.
She would be outside for hours and hours with a friend.
Johnson says Bryant was always in a car with a friend. He never saw her go inside, and he wonders, who was that friend? Did they know who Bryant was hiding?
She's from here, she's from there. We don't know where she resides.
So many have been wondering where Bryant herself lived while her children sat in isolation. Court documents show 2 addresses. At one of them, I talked to a woman who confirmed Bryant was living here.
Were you guys living together?
The house is about 6 minutes away from where Bryant's children were. The woman behind the door telling me that Bryant always told them the kids were with their dad, and Bryant actually played with other people's kids. The 3 children, ages 15, 13, and 12, are currently staying with their maternal grandpa. Over the phone, their paternal grandpa, Samuel White, tells me he and the kids' father have been trying to see the kids for years.
But it just hurt because it's not the fact that she had to take them through that. Why would she do that and that wasn't the situation?
White says that he personally asked Bryant to bring the kids around. The answer was always no, begging the final question and perhaps the biggest question, why would she do this?
How are you guys coping with that?
I mean, it's sickening because it was like we wasn't running from the situation. We always asked about them. They doing all right, but it's a lot of scar there. It's a lot of scars.
Bryant will be back in court March 4th for a probable cause conference. In Pontiac, Sarah Michaels.
5 years is a long fucking time, though, Jack. 5 years is a long fucking time.
Now to a tragic death in the Inland Empire where a 13-year-old boy lost his life attempting a dangerous social media stunt.
Tonight, his heartbroken family is speaking out about their son who loved football and died far too soon. Shelby Nelson live in Murrieta with the story. Shelby?
Yeah, far too soon indeed. This is such a tragedy. And it's only been 18 days since this family found 13-year-old Deuce unresponsive in his room. Today, I talked to his parents who tell me that they thought they did everything right. They talked to him about drugs and alcohol and outside influences. And now they are sounding the alarm, telling people to pay attention, telling parents to pay attention to what their kids are exposed to.
This was his leather football that he threw with. This is the one he would mud at night.
Nnamdi Ohere Sr.'s son was just 13 years old. His name is also Nnamdi Ohere, but most called him Deuce. He's got a cute smile.
Yeah, this is young Deuce right here. He had a good sense of humor, a great wit about him.
He played many sports and instruments. His dad tells me football was his primary passion. Deuce was the eldest of 4 boys and part of a military family establishing roots in Murrieta.
Wow.
But the family is now coming to terms with his loss, nearly 3 weeks after they found him unresponsive in his room. It was the morning of February 3rd. Leading up to then, his dad tells us they had sports and family activities. It was like any other day.
We came home, they showered. We were watching the Grammys. He was excited that Kendrick Lamar was sweeping all his categories.
But the next morning, when they discovered him, panic kicked in. Deuce's mom performing CPR, dad calling 911 and rushing to a neighbor for help. Deuce didn't make it. It appeared he had taken his own life, but it just didn't make sense. Deuce was always looking to the future, excited for what was ahead. As his parents began.
Was it that game where they jack off while they're hanging themselves? They got a game. They got something where the kids, they like hang themselves while they jacking off. Press 1 if you know about that. It's like supposed to make it feel better when you jack off while you're hanging yourself, and you can like accidentally die like that. Like you can pass out. I heard some kids dying like that before. Yeah, it's like asphyxiation, some shit. I want to see how. Let me hear.
Began asking questions, they learned that Deuce had learned of a social media game in which children were making themselves pass out.
I heard something.
A social media game where children were making themselves pass out. Yep. Shit crazy, man. Yep. That shit is crazy, man. That shit is crazy, man. The blackout challenge. They call it the blackout challenge. The blackout
themselves
challenge.
Pass out.
I heard something where this young person tried to make themselves pass out, but I guess they came back from it.
The CDC has been warning about the dangers for years, saying it can cause serious injury or even death. Deuce didn't have any social media accounts. His phone had strict parental controls, and they believe this was a result of what he may have learned from outside influences, possibly at school.
Trying to go through the Rolodex of like guilt, right? Did we check in more? Should I have not been as firm 4 years ago?
Namdi Sr. says the reason he wants this message out is to alert parents. He thought they did everything they were supposed to.
Being mindful of the influences. We talk about like don't do drugs, make good decisions. We don't talk about don't follow social media trends or play social media games, and maybe we need to.
That's a beautiful family.
Now, the family
God
has
damn.
since held a funeral for Deuce. In the meantime, his parents tell me that what they have really cherished from this community is all the support they've received since his death. Reporting live in Marietta, I'm Shelby Nelson.
The blackout challenge. By the way, man, take the $5, take the $7 challenge, man. Take the $7 challenge via PayPal, Cash App with the Super Chat. Come on now. The blackout challenge. Oh, so a lot of kids been dying from this shit.
What is the Blackout Challenge? An online challenge making headlines recently for its imminent danger to young, impressionable children. The Blackout Challenge encourages players to restrict their breathing until they pass out due to lack of oxygen in their brains. Now, as an adult, I can sit here and say that depriving your brain of oxygen is extremely dangerous. It can cause permanent brain damage and even death. Children like Archie Battersby have taken part in this challenge and tragically lost their lives. This is really, really dangerous game. Please do not take part. If you are a parent and you're concerned about your child taking part in this challenge on social media that is pretty much unmonitored, here are some things you can look out for. You need to look out for mentions of the game, including other words for it, like Space Monkey and the Pass Out game. You can look for marks on their necks, and you can also look for strange objects in their room, such as dog collars, different types of ropes that they could use to harm themselves. Please take care of your children, and children, please do not take part in this challenge. It's very, very dangerous.
Wow. Yikes.
Now to a tragic death in the
Yikes.
Breaking right now on CBS News Philadelphia, gunfire at a Pennsylvania hospital. A police officer is killed and others injured in a shooting at the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center in Newark. Good evening, I'm Aziza Schuler. This all unfolded this morning in the intensive care unit at the hospital. Authorities say the suspect took staff members hostage before he was killed by
police in a shootout. Reporter Candace Scalise from our affiliate in Harrisburg has the latest.
6 people were shot at this hospital behind me. That includes a doctor, nurse, and custodian with the UPMC staff, and 3 officers, including Officer Andrew Duarte with the West York Borough Police Department. He died in that shooting.
The individual was holding at gunpoint a member of the UPMC staff and ordered the police to get back to behind the doors. They did, so that as the person being held hostage would not be harmed, and were attempting to try to engage in discussion with Mr. Archangel Ortiz.
Around 10:30 Saturday morning, York County
Archangel
DA Tim Barker
Ortiz.
says
Oh God, Archangel Ortiz. Goddamn on Bredo. Now we gotta find, because they're not gonna tell us if he was illegal. Was he illegal? Was he illegal? Was he illegal?
a man named Diogenes Archangel Ortiz walked into UPMC York Memorial Hospital with a bag holding a gun and zip ties. We're told police got into formation and approached the gunman again.
When he came out, Mr. Diogenes Archangel Ortiz came out holding at gunpoint a member of the UPMC staff who was also had her hands tied with the aforementioned zip ties. Holding her at gunpoint, coming out into the hallway, the officers, left with no recourse, did open fire and did shoot and kill Diogenes Archangel Ortiz.
Officer Andrew Duarte was shot dead. 2 other officers were injured. At some point during the shooting, a nurse, doctor, and custodian were all shot. All 3 were taken to neighboring hospital Wellspan York and are in stable condition. The shooter was in the ICU the week before with someone, the DA said. They believe the shooting was targeted. The DA and a UPMC representative holding back their tears, describing the tragedy.
Let it not be lost on anyone the act of extraordinary bravery and courage by the healthcare workers here, by the law enforcement professionals, the state and local and here at the hospital level, who ran toward danger to keep people safe.
The officer killed, Andrew Duarte, joined the Westboro PD in June of 2022 after serving in Denver. A memorial is set up at the police station to honor his sacrifice.
Tonight, we pray for this community and especially for the Duarte family. A life cut short, but a life of service and meaning and purpose.
We know the shooter is 49 years old. No word yet on where he lives or any identification about who he is at this time other than his name. We also know right now that this shooting happened on a floor near patients. For now, reporting in York County, I'm Candace.
Let's see, who was this guy, man? Who was this guy? Everybody hit that like button, man. They're not gonna tell us if it was an illegal. They're not gonna tell us if it was an illegal. Trust me.
We begin with the deadly shooting at a hospital in York, Pennsylvania. That's west of Philadelphia. 1 police officer has been killed. Authorities say a suspect carrying a handgun and zip ties entered the intensive care unit at UPMC Memorial Hospital, taking several staff members hostage. They say he opened fire, striking a doctor, a nurse, and a custodian. The suspect was holding 1 staff member at gunpoint and had another worker in zip ties when police say he was shot and killed by officers. West York Borough Police Officer Andrew Duarte died on the scene. 2 other officers were also shot but are in stable condition. Tonight, authorities have not shared a motive for the shooting. ABC's Christian Cordero leading us off from the scene in York, Pennsylvania.
Tonight, one police officer is dead and several others are injured after a gunman stormed a local hospital in Pennsylvania.
Be advised, we have 2 officers hit by gunfire.
According to officials, the gunman, Diogenes Archangel Ortiz, entered UPMC Hospital in York, Pennsylvania around 10:30 a.m., armed with a handgun and zip ties.
He went straight to the ICU, and in the ICU, this individual went and held hostage members of the UPMC staff.
Adding, Ortiz tied the hands of one hospital staff member behind her back as police responded to the scene.
The individual was holding at gunpoint a member of the UPMC staff and ordered the police to get back to behind the doors.
Authorities say Ortiz fired his gun, striking a doctor, nurse, and custodian. As police officers attempted to engage Ortiz, he entered the hallway holding the hostage at gunpoint. An intense firefight ensued, and Ortiz was struck and killed. 3 officers were also hit. Officer Andrew Duarte, a law enforcement veteran, was killed. The shooting sending shockwaves through this quiet community.
The act of extraordinary bravery and courage by the healthcare workers here, by the law enforcement professionals. I know that because of their work, lives were saved today here at UPMC Memorial.
Whit, authorities say no patients were injured and they continue to receive care here at the hospital. Investigators are still searching for a motive. Whit.
All right, Christian Cordero, thank you.
Still don't know if he was illegal, man.
6 people were shot.
I don't know if he's illegal. They're still not saying it. It's hard to find information on whether he was illegal. So yeah, we're gonna have to wait for that. Well, this was some illegal, man. They not want some invader, man. They find out. Wait to find out if this was an invader. Shout out to Pamela Henderson, man. Pamela Henderson in the building. Yeah, they not giving us any information on this, man.
We begin with the.
They're not giving us a lot of information, man.
Breaking right now on.
And we asked them to go out in this community and keep us safe from evil. And last night, evil found them. And that sacrifice is a painful reminder.
Tonight, we continue to follow breaking news out of Virginia Beach after 2 young officers were killed during a traffic stop. Police Chief Paul Newdigate says officers Christopher Reese and Cameron Gervin died at local hospitals.
We've also learned the suspect in the case is dead from what officials believe was a self-inflicted gunshot wound. This all unfolded at 11:30 Friday night at the intersection of Lynn Haven Parkway and Winfield Drive. That's in the Green Run community. Officials say officers Reese and Gerwin were riding together when they pulled over a vehicle for an expired license plate, and that's when it took a horrible turn.
Officials say the entire incident was caught on body camera. Virginia Beach Mayor Bobby Dyer says the city is heartbroken.
And that's where we find 10 on Your Side's Kagan Hughes live at the memorial. Kagan, a somber day for everyone.
Yeah, Karina, Aisha, it is a very somber day. Like while we were at this press conference, you could just feel the heaviness in the air. Now, the police chief did give an update to the investigation where he called both officers heroes who paid the ultimate sacrifice. Now, we're at the 4th precinct right now, and there's been a memorial that has been set up for these officers by the Virginia Beach Fire and police officers to remember Christopher Reese and Cameron Gervin. In the press conference, the police chief stated that when the officers tried to pull over John McCoy III for expired plates, he failed to yield, then hit a dead end at Sylvan Court. Both officers approached the vehicle. After multiple tries, McCoy finally stepped out of the car where a fight quickly started, and McCoy shot both officers. The The police chief says with a pistol. They both fell to the ground,
Wow.
and that's where they were shot a second time. Police Chief Newdigate explained a group search was started and led them to a shed close to the traffic stop where they found McCoy from what police believe was a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Cameron Gervin was only 25 and Christopher Reese was only 30. The police chief says the department has young officers and is doing all it can to help them during this time.
Effective this morning, we doubled all our officers up in cars. So there are no single cars out there. And what this does is give our officers the ability to have someone in that car with them to help process, help try to make.
Hey, man, the two officers that got killed were together, man. What is that going to do, man? What is doubling up the cars going to do? Both officers listen. I'm gonna show you the guy who killed him, man. I'm gonna show you the guy who killed him. What do you think he looked like? What do y'all think the guy who killed him looked like? Huh? What do you think the guy who killed him looked like? What do you think he looked like? You tell me. What do you think he looked like? You tell me. So this is him in 2006.
Meantime, in Virginia Beach, police say an armed and dangerous man is off the streets.
This is 2006. This is him in 2006.
Meantime, in Virginia Beach, police say an armed and dangerous man is off the streets. Police tell us this guy, John Lee McCoy, turned himself in early this morning. Beach police say he pulled up to a car and opened fire in broad daylight Sunday on Independence Boulevard. McCoy is being held in the Virginia Beach Correctional Center without bond. Meantime, in Virginia Beach, police say an armed and dangerous man is.
So this is the second time he made the news, man. He just can't stay out of the news, man. At least he took what? He took like 20 years off. This was 2006. He probably did 20. He probably did about 18, 19 years for this crime and then came home. That's probably what happened. That's why he hasn't been that's why he's been hasn't, been in the news since 2006. Wow. Sons are uncanny with it, man. Uncanny.
Two officers were shot and killed during a traffic stop. All of Hampton Roads waking up to that horrible news this morning. It happened on South Rosemont Avenue last night, or around South Rosemont Avenue last night. You are seeing video from the scene now. Police say officers tried to pull over a car with expired plates, but the driver did not stop. Eventually, the driver did get out, and police say there was some sort of, quote, tussle. And at some point, the driver pulled out a gun, shot, and killed both officers who later died. WTKR News 3's Erica Craven will share more on that incident in just a moment. But first, I want to share this video with you of the procession that happened following last night's incident. This was on I-264, and this is a memorial that is starting to grow over at the 4th Precinct off Kempsville Road. That's where those officers were based out of. Now, we heard the chief of police say earlier that he's been getting support from all over the country, even the world. He says he's heard from people as far as Israel and England who have been sharing their condolences. Our reporter Erica Craven was at a press conference earlier this afternoon where police provided some more information about what happened. She now joins us live from Virginia Beach. Erica, what can you tell us about the officers and this incident?
Well, Jay, a memorial is growing at Precinct 4 in Virginia Beach, with many in the community in shock and in mourning. Now, Virginia Beach Police Chief Paul Newdigate told us that officers 30-year-old Christopher Reese and 25-year-old Cameron Gervin had been riding double before making that traffic stop. During the stop, he said 42-year-old John McCoy III pulled out a gun, shot the officers, and shot them again while they were on the ground. McCoy then made his way to a shed where he died from what police believe was a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Police told me the officers did not fire their guns during the incident.
Officers Gervin and Reese?
Officers are scared, man. They fighting with Sunmen and shit. They scared, man. They scared to shoot Sunmen, man. They've been trained, man. Like, look, man, you don't shoot a Sunman to the last possible. Make that your last resort. Shooting a Sunman, and that guy gets you killed.
Would you rather be called a racist or get shot by a Sunman?
Yeah, fuck all that. I'm shooting first, asking questions later.
I think as officers, any hesitation can cost you your life. They're getting these officers killed, man.
Exactly.
Because we see that in the body cam videos we watch, how disrespectful, how much they let the Sunmen get away with. They let the Sunmen get away with way too much, man. And it's on the regular. It's every one of them. Like, every body cam we watch, the Sunman is just egregious and shit. Crazy. They created a culture where the cops are not following protocol. Like, you supposed to follow protocol. Fuck trying to like not be racist or whatever the fuck. I don't even know if it's racist. Just stop trying to like de-escalate and shit or whatever the fuck. That motherfucker's escalating. He's not de-escalating. He's escalating. He'll kill you. And somebody needs to talk about that, like in the mainstream media, about like, yo, is these officers getting killed because of all that BLM shit?
Well, what would you do, Ak? Would you?
They were dedicated.
Would you be quick to pull the trigger, or would you hesitate to not be called racist, but then get whacked?
You know what? Like, I think that I don't think that it necessarily happened like that. I think it's just over time. Like, they probably, like when they said that they pulled him over and then he kept going into a dead end, and then they got out and approached the car. Then he got out and a tussle ensued, and then he pulled out a gun and shot them. Like, as soon as he starts tussling, man, I'm smoking his ass.
Me too.
Yeah, because it's like you out there fighting with some Sunman and some dark dead end at night, and before you know it, he pulls out a gun and shoots both of y'all, then executes y'all. It's like,
or he takes your gun.
No, they say he pulled out a gun. Their guns weren't fired. Yeah, that's true. It could happen like that too, but their guns weren't fired. It was his gun. So they hadn't patted him down yet. So he got out the car, and then it was like an altercation and whatnot. It's like, yo, I
the
get
body
it.
cam.
Yeah, they said it was all caught on body cam, but I get it, man. It's a lot of trouble you can get into, and officers rarely, like it's a million officers in the United States. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like every officer gets killed, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I could see them like, you know, just not every department officer doesn't even get killed in every department every year. I could see them like thinking like, you know, not thinking that they were gonna die, but it's just a fucked up job, man. They don't get no thanks. They get ridiculed. They get killed. Every fucking nigger bitch in fucking Virginia should be bringing some flowers down to that station as much as they call the fucking police. But I bet you it's only a bunch of white people.
Determined peace officers and public servants. They had stellar reputations in our department, and their work ethic beyond reproach. And we asked them to go out in this community and keep us safe from evil. And last night, evil found them.
No words can ease the pain and loss. As we mourn, I ask our community to come together. Please keep these officers, their families, friends, and loved ones in your thoughts and prayers.
The chief said the 2 officers killed were 2 heroes, and flags are at half-staff in their honor. Live in Virginia Beach, Erica Craven, WTKR News 3.
A very sad story.
Shout out to my man Rabbit Hole Reviews, man.
Does Rabbit Hole Reviews have a YouTube channel?
Probably so. Seem like you might have one. I sound like a YouTuber. Jeez. RIP to those officers, man.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Wow, there was a shooting at the mall in Columbia. God damn.
Yo, Ak, you got a P.O. box?
No.
Okay.
No. No, I don't have a P.O. box, man. Oh man, this is crazy, man. A lot of shootings, high profile shootings.
This is breaking news.
Well, breaking at 11, one teenager is dead, another seriously injured following a shooting in the area of the mall in Columbia. Good evening, everybody. I'm Kelsey Kushner. Welcome to those of you watching on CBS News Baltimore and on WJZ TV. Now, it happened just before 6 tonight outside of Lytle Market on Patuxent Parkway. WJZ's Ashley Paul joins us now live, where the scene is still incredibly active. And Ashley, what are you seeing out there?
Well, Kelsey, the scene actually just cleared up a few minutes ago, but while we were here earlier, it spanned all across the parking lot here at the mall in Columbia, and police tonight are still searching for the person who's responsible.
Oh yeah.
Earlier we had heard
they still searching for the person. It was definitely a black. It was definitely a black. Jeez. Unbelievable. Take the $7 challenge via PayPal, Cash App, and Super Chat. Please take the $7 challenge.
heard like a banging noise. We didn't like really know what it was at first, but then we kind of started to hear like chatters, that there was obviously a shooting.
Holden Rushing was working inside the mall in Columbia Saturday evening as gunfire rang out outside.
They just had us close the doors inside of our store and just like lock the doors. And there were like a couple people in there. They just went in the back until that we heard it was like safe to go out.
Howard County Police tell us 2 teens were shot in the parking lot outside. One was pronounced dead at the scene, the other taken to the hospital in grave condition, shocking the people who live nearby.
Very shocked to hear that. It's a very sad moment around here.
But police say this was a targeted incident, and they believe the suspect and victims were known to each other.
We are working to identify individuals that were there that perhaps may have saw something. We also are working with the surveillance. There's cameras all over the mall here, outside, private cameras. we're going through. It takes a lot of time to go through the information to make sure that we find exactly who did this.
This is the second deadly shooting at the mall this year. Back in July, a man in his 20s is seen on video running through the mall after allegedly shooting and killing 17-year-old Angelo Little. No arrests have been made yet in that case.
If you commit a crime here in Howard County, we will track you down.
Yo, this is one of the nicer communities. Columbia is one of the nicer communities, man. It's so sad that niggas, goddamn sun turds, are fucking this up, man. This is a nice area, man. It's fucking niggas, man. God damn, y'all some goddamn apes, man. Y'all fucking this shit up, man.
Today, I'm going to give you a complete locals guide to living in Columbia, Maryland. We are going to cover the top things to do, my favorite parks, the top rated schools, and go over some helpful stats about the area. Don't forget to check out the full article I wrote to go along with this video on livinginmaryland.com, the #1 resource for finding the perfect Maryland city that meets your unique needs. So let's jump right into it. Columbia is a super cool spot in Howard County. It's actually the second largest community in all of Maryland. What makes Columbia really unique is that it's made up of 10 different villages. Yep, 10. Each one has its own vibe, its own community center, and even its own recreational facilities. It's like a bunch of small towns rolled into one awesome place to live. The first village opened way back in 1967, and the last one was completed in 1990. So there's a lot of history here. One thing you should know about Columbia is that it was designed with quality of life in mind. The idea was to make life super convenient and inclusive. You can really see this.
It was designed with quality of life in mind. You should have banned niggas. You should have banned niggas then.
That should have been the first rule right there.
No niggas allowed. I hate to say it too.
Well, you can't have like a nice place if it's truly inclusive. It needs to be exclusive.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to Rabbit Hole Review. He said, "Hey, have you covered that attack at Union Station?" Now we can get to that next, man. We'll get to that next. This is crazy, man.
Bunch of small towns rolled into one awesome place to live. The first village opened way back in 1967, and the last one was completed in 1990. So there's a lot of history here. One thing you should know about Columbia is that it was designed with quality of life in mind. The idea was to make life super convenient and inclusive. You can really see this in the way things are set up. For example, 4 of the villages have interfaith centers that are shared by different religious congregations. It's pretty neat how they've thought about everyone here. Now let's talk about the cost of living in Columbia. It's a bit on the higher side compared to other parts of Maryland. The median home value.
Good. That no affordable housing. That's good though. Keep the prices high. That's one way to keep niggas out.
Yep. No Section 8 either.
Yeah, niggas always looking for some cheap housing. You need affordable housing. You go somewhere else and get some fucking affordable housing.
For real.
You here is around $402,200. That's higher than the Maryland average, which is about $332,500. So if you're looking to buy, that's something to keep in mind. But if you're renting, about a third of people here do that, and the median rent is around $1,900. So you've got options, whether you're buying or renting. Speaking of options, let's chat about living in Columbia. It's seriously one of the best places to live in Maryland. Not only is it close to both Baltimore and Washington, D.C., but it's...
Yeah, it's not far from D.C. Not at all. It's like, straight up, goddamn, what's the name of that road? Straight up, is that Colesville? Straight up Colesville Road. Forgot what they call it, what route they call it. But yeah, it's not far. Not far, baby. Drive maybe like 20, 25 minutes outside the city, 20 minutes. Look at this. Quiet, orderly. Said 15 minutes. So you can read between the lines.
Let's chat about living in Columbia. It's seriously one of the best places to live in Maryland. Not only is it close to both Baltimore and Washington, D.C., but it's also super connected. There are bus routes to both cities, including a commuter bus that'll take you right to the Washington Metro system on weekdays. And if you're driving, you've got easy access to major roadways that'll get you to Baltimore, D.C., Annapolis, and even some of the smaller Maryland towns. All right, for those of you with kids, or if you're planning on taking some classes yourself, Columbia's got a bunch of schools to choose from. For elementary schools, there are Atholden Elementary, Guilford Elementary, Longfellow Elementary, and Running Brook Elementary. Then there are the middle schools like Oakland Mills Middle and Harper's Choice Middle. And for high school, you've got 5 options: Atholden High, Hammond High, Wild Lake High, Long Reach High, and Oakland Mills High. If you're thinking about college, as Howard Community College is right here in Columbia. And if you're looking for something more specialized, there's Lincoln College of Technology and even the Maryland campus of the University of Phoenix. Now let's move on to the fun stuff, parks and recreation. Columbia has some great outdoor spaces, starting with Lake Kittamaqundi. It's a man-made reservoir that's named after the first Indian settlement in the county.
No
Kittamaqundi.
Look like they're keeping the lake up pretty decent.
Pretty cool, right? There are also 2 other lakes, Lake Elkhorn and Wilda Lake, where you can chill out and enjoy the outdoors. For more activities, Columbia's got you covered. There are swimming pools, roller skating rinks, an equestrian center, and even a skate park. If you're into sports, there are clubs for tennis, basketball, squash, volleyball, and more. And if you're looking for something a little more relaxing, you can rent one of the 350 garden plots that are scattered across 3 different sites in the community. Shopping in Columbia is super convenient too. The mall in Columbia is right at the heart of everything. It's got more than 200 specialty stores, a bunch of restaurants, and even a movie.
This is where the shooting was at. This is where the shooting. They've had 2 fucking shootings where niggas have gotten killed at this mall this year. In this affluent area. And I guarantee you they're from Baltimore. They're probably not from DC. This is not really a suburb of DC. This is more a suburb of Baltimore. Historically. I don't know what the young DC dudes is doing now. Maybe they are going out there.
Theater. If you're looking for something smaller, each of the villages has its own shopping center. Some of these are Dobbin Center Shopping Center, Long Reach Shopping Center, Oakland Mills Shopping Center, and King's Contrivance Village Shopping Center. So whether you're running errands or just looking to shop till you drop, there's a spot for you. And let's not forget the arts and culture scene in Columbia. This place is buzzing with activity all year round. There are museums like the African Art Museum of Maryland and the Howard County Center.
Where you go in the African Art Museum, you could probably, like, say you was a security guard there, I bet you 99% of the people that come there are white.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, do some people, are they interested in that?
No. Some people ain't going to no African Arts Museum. They do go to the one in DC, that big one, but they usually people from out of town. That the African American museum in down there on the mall in DC. That's not DC people. But like a little regular museum, fuck no. Niggas ain't going to that shit. It's gonna be a bunch of white people in there. Looking at them big ugly ass masks and shit. Big masks and shit. Funny looking ass masks.
I don't know.
What's beautiful? That shit ain't beautiful. Shit look like some shit some kids made, man. Fuck you talking about.
Center of African American culture. Plus, there are some historic buildings worth checking out, like Dorsey Hall, Woodlawn, and Oakland Manor. Columbia is also a hot spot for events and live music. Local bars often have live bands, and for the bigger concerts, Merriweather Post Pavilion is the place to be. It's a legendary venue that draws in some pretty big names. If you're into theater,
that's a legendary concert place.
You'll love Toby's Dinner Theater, Young Columbians, and Columbia Center for Theatrical Arts. They put on musicals, theater productions, and
all right, so niggas is fucking up Columbia, man. Ain't that a bitch?
This is breaking news.
Well, breaking.
If you commit a crime here in Howard County, we will track you down and we will prosecute you and we will
Columbia is in Howard County.
find you.
Fox 45 is following breaking news out of Columbia. One juvenile is dead, another in critical condition following a shooting near the mall in Columbia. Police say they believe the shooting was targeted and that there is only one shooter. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Vincent Hill. The shooting happened around 6 o'clock outside of the mall near one of the stores. According to police, when they arrived, they found 2 juvenile males with multiple gunshot wounds. One victim was pronounced dead at the scene. The other was taken shock trauma and critical condition. Fox 45 spoke with a mall employee who says he's concerned for his safety.
So I'm up and down, you know, obviously the thing happened over the summer. There was another one. We were both working on the Sunday as well. There was a fake one. Like people thought it was an active shooter, but it wasn't. Like someone just pulled the gun on an employee inside the mall. Oh, I'm sorry. So that was obviously, you know, another scary situation. And for, you know, us, this is the third time in under a year that like an event like this has happened. So, you know, it obviously is very concerning.
Yeah.
Can't state the obvious though.
Hell no. Better not. You said Union Station. There was a shooting at Union Station in DC. Yeah. I used to be up Union Station every day, man. When I was on like 15, when I was in fucking young man and shit, young man age. Wow. This is 12 days ago. That was 12 days ago?
A man shot inside of Union Station. That happened during tonight's rush hour.
Yeah, that is where we find
No,
DC
here
News.
it is. That was
DC police are
that was the
investigating
last
two
shooting.
recent
That was the last shooting. It was what yesterday. Okay, I was about to say 12 days ago. So there's been 2 shootings in 12 days at Union Station. That's the biggest train station, like one of the biggest ones on the East Coast.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was another one.
Jeez.
DC police are investigating 2 recent incidents involving juveniles. A brazen robbery on a metro train caught on camera, by the way, and a brutal attack outside Union Station. Our Tom Rousey breaks down the investigations and asks the mayor what needs to be done to keep kids from committing these crimes.
Come on, man, stop it.
That's a teen snatching an expensive Canada Goose jacket.
As 7 News first reported Thursday night, on Wednesday, Metro Transit police say multiple juvenile suspects were involved in a robbery of a pricey Canada Goose jacket from a man riding Metro Rail in D.C. Metro says it happened just after 6 p.m. on a Green Line train traveling between Congress Heights and Anacostia.
Yo, this guy was on the fucking train between Congress Heights and Anacostia with a Canada Goose on. That's like little. He might as well have just left it on the train. He might as well just like put it on the seat next to him and just left it on the train. That's the trenches of the train of the DC Metro between Anacostia and Congress Heights. That's southeast. That's where all the little fucking hood rats in the hood and the little young YNs is going home and shit. This guy was on there with a Canada Goose. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. He basically, it's like, that's like something like a prank YouTuber would do. Like, I want to go get on the train on the Green Line between and with a Canada Goose on to see what happens.
Nothing good.
Yo, that's crazy.
2 teens believed to be involved were later arrested.
My bad. I didn't want to interrupt, but I was just gonna say, what the fuck is up with these prank streamers? I be seeing them in downtown MIA. It's like, yo, one of them got knocked out because he went up to this couple.
Nuisance streamers.
Yeah, he went up to this couple and started messing around and started trying to take her purse, and then he was like, "Oh, it's just a joke. It's just a joke." and pointing at the camera guy, and the boyfriend, he wasn't having it. He knocked that dude out.
Nice.
Yeah, that's exactly what he gets, bro. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Arrested in Maryland for other alleged crimes. 3 days earlier on Sunday, a police report indicates 9 suspects attacked a victim near the post office across from Union Station. Then police say they assaulted others who tried to help. One suspect recorded the assault on camera. Another pushed victims to the ground and punched them, while yet another kicked one victim and dragged them by their hair. Per a DC police report, the victims do not have a home. Arrested so far, a 13-year-old girl and an 11-year-old girl. At the National Press Club.
These fucking son kids are feral at 11.
The females.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Unbelievable, man. Yikes.
So imagine putting kids like that in a school where everybody else is like behaved, like the students are behaved because they got good parents who teach them to respect the teacher. Like my parents, before they put me in school, they always taught me respect the teacher, respect authority, respect your elders. These kids don't got none of that.
Here's the thing, though: the good kids is more likely to be influenced by the bad kids than the bad kids are to be influenced by the good kids. That's what I've noticed.
Yeah, no, that's true. I've seen that 100%. Like, I mean, I just don't understand. Like, how do parents feel comfortable like letting their kids roam around like that? Don't they see that those kids are a representation of them? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, here,
Like,
well, you first of all, like a lot of parents don't know what, like you don't know what your kids are doing a lot of times, but then a lot of times you do because you're picking them from prison, from jail, and you're having teachers at school call you in for parent teacher conferences all the time, and you know, so they're always getting suspended. So yeah, the parents do know, like, you know what I mean, but there's nothing you can do, man. I mean, like, you punish them. You put a lot of these kids in DC, man, and now everywhere else, when they get together, like that kid might be very well behaved around their mother. I've seen it. Kids well behaved around their mother and shit, and you wouldn't even know they were bad. And then they get around their friends, and they turn into a completely different person because they know how to
terrorists.
They know how to play both sides. No, they just know they know how to play both sides. They live in a double life. But then you got kids that are just all the way wild. It's hard, man. It's hard raising a son kid, man. Because his or her influences, man. Like, it ain't like your friend is fucking Leave It to Beaver and shit, man. Your friend is gonna be fucking, you know what I'm saying, little fucking thugs and shit, little hoochie mamas and shit, having sex and shit. Like 11, I bet you them little girls having sex too.
That's
I
crazy.
bet you they are.
At 11, damn.
Oh yeah, that's very common in DC. That's very common. You get clowned and shit, y'all. I remember they clown you in elementary school. You don't get no pussy.
That's fucked.
At
Oh,
11
yeah.
though? At 11?
Oh yeah, dude. If you make it to the 7th grade and you ain't had no pussy or you ain't had no sex, you're gonna have a rough time. You're gonna get openly mocked and ridiculed.
Damn.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Like anybody from DC can tell you that. That's probably like that in New York too, or wherever. Man, can we get some people to take the $7 challenge, man? Can we get some people to take the $7 challenge? We get some people to sponsor the show tonight, man. Sponsor the show. Sponsor your favorite show.
I took the 10. I said fuck 7. I took 10 yesterday.
Well, salute to you, man. Salute to you.
I'll put down. Let me see. Let me check my account right quick.
Nah, man. Just I'm talking to the chat, man. Just hold fast, man.
Hey, come on, chat. This man does us a great service, giving us the good news, the actual news that you'll fucking use, not some bullshit news. The least we could do is help a guy out. You know, he does a lot for us. Gotta respect that.
Victims do not have a home. Arrested so far, a 13-year-old girl and an 11-year-old girl. At the National Press Club Friday, 7 News asked D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser about the juvenile crimes. She called for more secure
Fat
detention
motherfucker.
of teens.
Is she being interviewed by Peter Griffin, man?
Peter Griffin looking bitch.
Peter Griffin, man. What the fuck? Ain't that a
Ugly
bitch?
ass.
Barely fits in the chair.
For real. For real, bro. No way.
The Quahog and DC linking up and shit.
She called for more secure detention of teens.
We have a good arrest. We make a good case. They have to be charged and put in the system. And I've said repeatedly, that doesn't mean a diversion. That doesn't mean an unaccountable supervision program.
By diversion, the mayor is referring to a program in which kids are supposed to get help without prosecution and detention. She says it happens too often.
Is that a court problem? Is that an attorney general problem?
It's both.
But the D.C. Attorney General's office.
Yeah, I like her, man. She been saying that for a long time, man. The city council, though, won't. The city council is just a bunch of fucking liberals, man. Bleeding heart liberals.
Yep.
And here's the thing: in D.C., the congresswomen, congressmen get carjacked. Like, it's not like they don't get affected by this stuff, because they're there. They get assaulted and shit.
Oh,
The
yeah,
people, the little young dudes don't know that you're a congressman. They don't know you the congressman from Minnesota. They don't know you the state. You know what I'm saying? They don't know you a senator. They just carjacking somebody. You know what I'm saying? Well, they don't know you a city councilman. They don't know that shit. Because you got a lot of politicians down there in DC.
Yo, do you think if we start locking up kids when they commit adult crimes like carjacking and all that, and charging them as adults and giving them adult time, you think that'll
No.
it'll
I
persuade
think
kids not to do that dumb shit?
I think over time, though. I don't think immediately. I think it'll take 5 years.
5
You
years.
know what I'm saying? Yeah, because the streets gotta know. Like, kids gotta know, like, yo, you're getting charged as an adult. And that happens quick, but then it has to set in. And then here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
DC doesn't prosecute young people, right? At all, right? So they're not just gonna go from not prosecuting them to charging them as an adult. They need to do something like they just need to start prosecuting them as juveniles. Send them to juvie. Like, think about that kid who did the robbery on the train of the Canada Goose. If you saw that yesterday,
Oh yeah, okay.
if he's a juvenile, right? It's a possibility his mother picked him up from the fucking station that night.
Yeah, I bet.
You know what I'm saying? And then he probably got an ankle monitor. Maybe he went back to court, and then got an ankle monitor. And his mom is scared of him and shit. So that little nigga is. And then if he violates his ankle monitor, he's not gonna get locked up for that. They're just gonna the probation officer is gonna say something to him. He could violate the ankle monitor multiple times, before they actually do something to him. And then when they go to court, a lot of times, this one he has video, but a lot of times they just throw it out. DC's notorious for no paper in cases. No paper. Really? No paper. They call it no paper. They just throw it out, just toss it. I've had that happen so many times. That's why your record ain't as long as if you look up a lot of dudes in DC record, they've been arrested way more times than charges, because the charges always get thrown out. They have the jail is overcrowded. The jail
Yeah.
is overcrowded. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot going on. I don't even think they need to charge these kids as adults. Just charge them, period. They're not charging them as juveniles.
Oh, they're not getting any charges?
No, they just the majority of the time. Until they kill somebody, up until the point where they kill somebody, they're getting like their parents is picking them up from the station that night.
Insane.
You know what I'm saying? It is bananas. Salute to Don Wrinkles. He says, I only wear dirty work boots to cover up my Canada Goose jacket and Balenciaga jeans with job applications on the subway.
Move, homie.
Yeah, the Balenciaga, yeah, they love all that shit.
Yeah, they love that
crazy
shit.
to wear that shit. You'd be crazy to be a geeky ass white dude and wear that shit around some fucking 17. Salute to Baby King, man. Shout out to my man Baby King, man. He says YouTube sucks. Salute to you, Baby King. Yeah, but this woman has been doing a good job as a black man. Her and the Philly black man, Mama Sherelle, those are my two favorite black woman mayors, man.
See, Ak does love his son people.
Yeah, no, I give credit because here's the thing: you have to give credit to have credibility. Like if you just say every black chick sucks, then you just hating. But most of them suck as the mayors. But when they don't suck, I will tell you.
Or secure detention of teens.
We have a good arrest. We make a good case. They have to be charged and put in the system. And I've said repeatedly, that doesn't mean a diversion. That doesn't mean an unaccountable supervision program.
By diversion, the mayor is referring to a program in which kids are supposed to get help without prosecution and detention. She says it happens too often.
Is that a court problem? Is that an attorney general problem?
It's both.
But the D.C. Attorney General's office says it only used diversion in a little over 8% of cases last year and never used it for serious violent crimes. A source close to the juvenile justice system says the city's Department of Youth Rehabilitation Services sometimes decides to release offenders from secure detention before their sentence is done, sending them either to home detention or a group home.
Yeah, like they're not even. I mean, you just sending the kid. I mean, a kid who just did some wild shit in public and shit, and he's like getting like they fundamentally don't understand that some kids get praised for that. You get status for doing that shit. They act like you're a pariah and shit for robbing somebody on the train. No, as a young man, you're a status. You know what I mean? Like
really.
Yeah, you get stabbed amongst your peer group, amongst the other little fucking hoodlums you hanging with, and fucking little hoochie mamas. Hell yeah, you get status for being a violent. Violence is currency, man. Hurting people. Like if you on the train or the bus in DC, and when these kids get out of school, all they talking about is sex and violence. And hurting people and bullying each other, because that's the things that get them the most status: sex and being known. Don't nobody mess with me and shit. Like, yeah, man, I'll fuck you up and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And that source telling us sometimes the juveniles use the lesser monitoring in those situations to again commit crimes. Now, we reached out to the Department of Youth Rehabilitation Services for a response to that. I talked to a spokesperson. She says she's working on a response. She probably couldn't get it to us today. She says probably on Monday she'll be able to give a response to that assertion. Reporting live, not far from Union Station, I'm Tom Rousey, 7 News.
All right, Tom, thank
She
you.
takes her job
Last
so
weekend's brutal
seriously.
attacks come just weeks after the last of 5 teenagers was sentenced in the deadly beating of Reggie Brown. All of the girls convicted in the attack are minors. They claim that they attacked Brown because they were bored and looking to fight someone.
Yeah, remember this guy? So they sentenced all the girls who did this. Let's see what they got. Let's see what the fuck sentence they got.
Thank you. And last weekend's brutal attacks come just weeks after the last of 5 teenagers was sentenced in the deadly beating of Reggie Brown. All of the girls convicted in the attack are minors. They claim that they attacked Brown because they were bored and looking to fight someone. They have been sentenced to stay in juvenile detention ranging from when they're 18 to 21 years old.
Okay, so they gave them go see what they killed them though, but they had to kill somebody to get you know what I mean to get stay in juvenile hall till they're 18 or 21.
They weren't looking to fight somebody. They were looking to jump somebody. Just beat down some helpless old person.
Yep. Yeah, man, that's common though. Like you gotta understand, like that type of stuff, a mob of little girls going around, just like a pack of ants, just fucking destroying everything in their wake. That's soft. Like they wouldn't run up on some, you know what I'm saying, niggas and shit. But that anybody that's weaker than them, that's something that you could see, man. You could sit on your porch on a Friday night and see that, man, if you live in the right neighborhood. You know
like
what I'm saying?
a pack of jackals.
Yeah, it just is what it is, man. This is where they send the kids. If you lucky, the nigga who did something, the little fucking son turd that did something to you will go here. And this is if you're lucky.
Continuing our coverage of DC's Department of Youth Rehab Services tonight, which has been criticized by the district's attorney general and some members of the city council.
Yeah, and also now some parents. Many are painting really a troubling picture of it. They claim there are drugs and fights. Their children are not getting the help they need. DC News Now's Leonard and Fleming spoke with some of those parents today.
These parents tell me they feel like no one is listening to them inside this agency. And their sons who've been placed in custody in DYRS facilities, they say that their sons have seen significant problems and that major changes are needed. Christina Smith's son was placed in the custody of the Department of Youth Rehabilitation Services in November 2020. It wasn't long before he started sharing stories about his experiences inside the Youth Services Center. They included allegations of violence against children held there, phone privileges being pulled, and medication being withheld.
When I came to visit him and I tried to talk to somebody, there was never anyone available. I didn't feel like he was rehabilitated at all. I feel like the little issues that he had, it made it 100% worse.
Yeah, because he in there with all the bag. Think about what you got to do to actually get there. So you got to be like a habitual. You just got to be like a terrorist to finally they put you in there. And all the little kids that's in there are those kids. So your son, he in there too. He got to fit in. He can't be, you know what I'm saying? He can't be like, oh, I want to study so when I get out. No, man, you become food. You got to fit in with those little niggas, man. Those little niggas are fucking savages. You would take a little kid from DC, man, 15, 16 years old, and send him to like another city. That little nigga gonna try to take over, man. He gonna try to take over the other city, man. He gonna try to take over the school and shit. They're little fucking gangsters and shit, man. They like little gangsters. Salute to Deluxe 247, aka Cal Ripken, aka the real MVP, coming through once again. Salute to Rabbit Hole Reviews. He says, Fat Peter Griffin, I'm just surprised he's white. Salute to Gentile Savage. He says, yo, Ock Nation, did you hear that correction officers are going to strike in New York? Yikes. Rikers Island, man. That's a bad time for the mayor. The mayor got a lot on his plate, man.
Because of the lack of mental health attention.
The problems inside two of DYRS's facilities have come under scrutiny from DC's Attorney General and City Council. And the agency was sued earlier this month for alleged physical violence against a 16-year-old who has asthma while being housed at the New Beginnings Correctional Center in Laurel, Maryland.
I expect them to be on their job.
Denise Baldwin's son has been in the Youth Services Center in Northeast since mid-April. She says her son was slow to receive medical attention for a broken finger for defending himself in a fight.
I feel as though by him being locked up in there and not getting the help he needs is bringing him down. Frustration, anger, and sometimes sadness. I see it.
DYRS Director Sam Abed, who testified for hours before City Council yesterday, said in a statement that indeed all allegations will be investigated and that the safety of staff and youth in the facility is important. Reporting from Northeast DC, Leonard N. Fleming, DC News Now, back to you.
7 News on your side is digging into the recent violence at DC's Juvenile Detention Center.
Our Christian Flores is asking city leaders what they are doing to prevent a repeat of the assaults and drug use in that facility and their plan for more oversight.
The violence is ridiculous at this facility.
Councilmember Trayon White is the chair of the committee that oversees the Youth Services Center, known as YSC, and says he is upset about the violent and dangerous month inside the detention center.
We got units on the scene. We've got 4 patients all assaulted. And we utilize ambulance 12 on the number 1 floor.
Last week, MPD officers arrested and charged 8 juveniles in the facility for 14 assaults that took place over the span of just 2 days. 7 News also learned there have been 4 positive drug tests, 3 for opioids, since April, with 1 case requiring staff to use Narcan.
We recently did uncover youth that had tested positive for fentanyl. We've instituted pat-down searches after this, keep them in smaller groups so that we have limited opportunities or less opportunities to engage in kind of assaultive behavior.
We can't afford for anything to happen when we lose a child in this facility under DC's care.
What does the city as a whole or even your committee need to do to make sure that these sort of instances of violence or positive drug tests aren't a common occurrence?
We got to figure out how it's getting into the facility. And if it's adults bringing it in, those adults need to be held accountable. We also have to figure out with these incidents of violence, how youth get access to other people's living quadrants.
Mayor Muriel Bowser also considered allowing one of the independent oversight offices for the juvenile detention.
So it's rough out there, man. It's rough, man. Oh yeah.
I'm trying to imagine being a little glider boy going into one of those places.
Oh my God. You listen, they might like take a liking to you, right? Because if you a little glider and you tough, there's a novelty and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, it's kind of like the Eminem effect. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, it's like you gonna feel like even they're gonna be like flattered and shit. Like you trying to be like them and shit. But then reality gonna hit and they're gonna fucking turn on you. They're always gonna turn on you. They're gonna turn on you. They're gonna be your friend for a minute, and they're gonna turn on you. When they turn on you, it's gonna be shocking because you ain't from that cloth, and you ain't gonna be ready for it when they turn on you. You're gonna be like, oh shit, you're gonna be shocked that they turned on you. Like what happened? Nah, that's what they do. They turn on you every time.
So you can't trust them then.
Growing concerns after
Fuck no. Fuck, you can't trust no fucking nigga in DC. Are you crazy? You can't trust no nigga in fucking Washington DC on the streets and shit. Fuck no. Hell no. Fuck no.
Of murder and cannibalism will eventually walk free in the state. Thanks for joining us tonight at 10 here on The Wax. I'm Stephanie Simone. Tyree Smith was found not guilty by reason of insanity more than a decade ago, but now some are questioning a decision to eventually release him. Your reporter, Bryant Reed, is live in Middletown at the hospital where Smith gets his treatment. Bryant.
Well, Stephanie, the answer is yes. Tyree Smith has been granted a conditional release by Psychiatric Review Board today. Now, he's already been living in a halfway house for several months, but doctors now believe that he's done enough to deserve more freedom, despite being accused of murdering a man and bludgeoning that man with an axe several years ago. Although, as you can imagine, Stephanie, not everybody is on board.
I am not one for the philosophy of lock them up and throw away the key.
But we are talking about a very serious crime.
But after a hearing today with the Connecticut Psychiatric Review Board, Tyree Smith has been granted a conditional release. Smith was found not guilty by reason of insanity back in 2013. He was accused of killing Angel Gonzalez with an axe in Bridgeport, then eating parts of his body. Some, like Senator Paul Ciccarella, believe Smith's place in the community should continue to
killed it on Brito, man. Then ate him.
Yo, I can't believe that they feel like just because you're mentally ill that gets you off on a crime. That don't mean a damn thing. You still committed the crime.
Yeah, white people are crazy, man. They got so much on their mind. They consider everything. You know what I'm saying? White people consider everything. So their systems are, you know, it ain't made for this nigga. Like he killed on Brito and ate him.
accused of killing Angel Gonzalez with an axe in Bridgeport, then eating parts of his body. Some, like Senator Paul Ciccarella, believe Smith's place in the community should continue to be under close watch in a hospital.
Murder and cannibalism and release in the same sentence, that's a problem. That's concerning to me.
But Smith's doctors say he's rehabilitated, constantly taking medications to help with psychosis and voices in his head.
So what if he stops taking the medication though? Like they said, he's rehabilitated.
There is no rehabilitation.
Yeah, there
Fucking
isn't.
Nuts.
He just the only rehabilitation is a lead pill to the head. That's it.
Yeah. He's rehabilitated. He's constantly taking medication. Yeah, under supervision. So he there with y'all, and y'all drop the pills off at his fucking cell every day and shit. What's gonna happen when he on the street and he responsible for picking up his prescription and shit and taking his pills on time? These people are fucking retarded, man. Salute to the Candy, man. He says, props for raising crime literacy so that people are more aware of their surroundings and might avoid becoming enriched needlessly. Yeah, man, you just gotta limit interactions and always be aware when they're around. Like when they're around, you don't have to be like looking all like that. You could be looking down. You could be, not even paying attention to them, but you're paying attention to them. You could be reading your book, but your antennas up. You could be listening to your earpods, but you got like only one earbud in, so you hear out the other ear. You just gotta always be aware when they're around, man, because they're you know what I'm saying? They're on their shit. You know what I'm saying? You just don't want to be, you know what I'm saying? You want to at least be aware, give you a fighting chance. You still might become a victim. You still might be victimized even if you're aware. Just because you're aware don't mean you ain't victimized. You walking down the street by yourself and there's three of them behind you and they skipping, catching up to you. I mean, what you gonna do? Pull out a gun and shoot them? No, you're not gonna do that. You're gonna wait till they do something and then it's gonna be too late. You ain't just gonna pull out your gun and start shooting at them. Or you ain't just pull out your gun and fucking brandish it. That's not how you are. You're a regular citizen. You don't do shit like that. So even if you armed, they still can victimize you. It's just a fucked up situation.
Reiterating that Smith has been a model citizen and he's lived in a halfway house for 9 months under temporary leave status and has only accidentally missed one check-in while being GPS monitored, joining rehab groups, and being subjected to random drug tests.
He has maintained clinical stability, adhered to prescribed medications, and continued to engage meaningfully in groups and substance use treatment. He also denied visual hallucinations or a desire to harm others or himself.
Doctors say Smith has been a joy and a support to other patients. But despite that, Talitha Frazier, Gonzalez's sister-in-law and spokesperson for the family, says they constantly live in fear.
His grandchildren are scared.
Give me a fucking break.
His daughter is so scared she couldn't
Come
make
in there
it
with
to
that
spring
pink
sugar
wig.
drop to 52.
And their fears are warranted, with doctors acknowledging should he forget to take his medication, Smith could become a danger to society.
It's safe to say that if he doesn't take his medication, that his auditory hallucinations that tell him to kill people, kill police officers may come back. Yes.
Why are you letting him out?
But he said that he didn't hear the voices anymore. Let's trust him.
Oh, God. Jesus Christ. Unbelievable.
Now, with his conditional release, Smith will continue to slowly reintegrate into society. He will still, though, have a GPS monitor. However, he will no longer be completely tied to Whiting Forensic Hospital for complete and total outpatient care. Your reporter in Middletown tonight, Brian Reed, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Sir! Sir! Police! Open your door! Sir, open your door! Sir, police department, open your door! You're in the middle of the highway!
Racist police.
The mayor's on the Kennedy Expressway in downtown Chicago and now causing massive backups after multiple 911 callers reported him parked in a lane on the freeway.
Open the door! How you doing? Do you need an ambulance? Sir, put your car in park for me. Sir, do you need an ambulance? You understand? Do you know where you are right now?
If that's what you want me to do, yes.
Hey, you're in the middle of the highway sleeping in your car. You were sleeping. Can you turn your car off for me? Okay, do you have where's the key fob at? No, don't turn it on. Keep it off. Look at me. Hey, do you know where you are right now?
It's the fucking mayor, man. The mayor.
What's going on?
Acting like a child.
Take off your seatbelt for me. The fire department's coming, okay? Do you have the ID on you? Sure. Can I see it?
He was literally he was passed out. It took us a while to wake him up, but he finally woke up.
All right, do you have any medical problems I should know about? Are you sick or injured?
I do.
Do you take any medication for anything? How much you had to drink tonight?
I had an event to celebrate a fundraiser.
Okay.
And I came here.
Maybe you were drinking at the fundraiser.
Sure.
How much have you had to drink?
Not enough to equate to this.
Say no, step out of your car. You can't be in your car right now. All right.
He wants to drink more.
Car, okay?
Do I need to know what's turning? Do I need to know what's turning?
No, we need to get you out of the highway.
No. I'm not trying to be funny. Do I need to know my attorney right now? Like, and I'm not so funny.
Wait, no, for your safety and everybody here,
No,
we need to get you out of the highway. You're in the middle of the highway. We need to get you out of the highway. Does that make sense?
So it does. Okay. Do I need to contact my attorney? Because I'm not drunk.
For your well-being,
I'm not trying to be some crazy person. Okay. I'm literally
Too late.
Attorney now. I went to a fundraiser.
We're trying to get everyone here off the highway. We're in the middle of the highway.
Literally crazy.
And we need to get off of it.
I'm not some crazy person.
I'm not saying you're crazy.
Right, and I agree with you with that.
I'm saying that we need to get off the highway.
Why don't we just get you off the highway really quick?
We're just trying to get you off the
paramedic here. I would love to do that to me. What am I accepting, really? You're accepting to let me take a look at you. What you're accepting. But I'm not really crazy. Have you been drinking today? I had a drink at a fundraising.
Just one drink?
No, I had a drink at fundraising event.
All right, well, if we get you off the highway.
So we're not.
If we get you off the highway in 2 minutes, and then we can talk. There's a lot of danger here right now. Here, come over here. Come over here. We're gonna get you off the highway.
I guess I'm just trying to be like.
Sir, we just want to help you, okay?
No.
But there's cars coming.
But I'm not asking for help.
I know, but we have an obligation.
They just don't listen.
We
can't continue this in the highway.
Let us help you. Okay? Look at all these cars are coming. All of us are standing out here. We can get hit at any moment.
We're here for you because we're concerned about you.
I don't think it's a concern for me.
No, it is.
I don't look at all of any of this. It's a concern for me.
So this is what I want to do. I want to drive you to this exit, and then we're going to move your car so that the fire department and the state police can clear the highway up.
I would love to do that.
Hey, come on, let's go in my car. You're not under arrest.
No, I'm not going in my car. I'm not.
We have
I'm not going in my car. I don't have to. I'm literally just trying to figure out what the is happening right now.
Okay, so you fell asleep in your car in the middle of the highway. So in order to make sure that everybody's safe here, I want to put you in my car and drive you to the exit, and then my partner's going to drive your car behind us. We can't stand out here in the middle of the highway.
Tell me what you want to do.
I want you to sit in my squad car.
I'm not getting it. I'm not.
Fucking arrest him, please.
Real, hurry up.
You're not even in handcuffs.
You're not even in handcuffs.
You're not even in handcuffs.
It's just a ride.
And I understand. It's a ride, and I understand that.
This is
What do
pathetic,
you want me
man.
to do that doesn't equate me to getting into a car?
That's the only option because we can't let you drive.
That's not the only option. I will walk wherever you want me to walk.
It's unsafe.
Okay, I'm not getting into that car.
I don't want to.
Everything's we already using recording, Nathaniel. So you don't trust us. Our body cams are out. You understand that, right?
I understand.
4 body cams on.
And I understand
So
that.
nothing bad's gonna happen.
So if you want me to walk over to that,
You can't walk. You can't walk. The only option is what my partner's telling you.
even though you're cameraing me, I don't have an option.
It's for your safety.
We can't let you drive and we can't let you walk along the highway. You understand that?
That is not for my safety. That is not for my safety.
It literally is for your safety.
So would you feel more comfortable going in our car? Mine and my partner?
I would.
Would you feel more comfortable?
If you want me to do something, tell me what you want me to do.
All right, we're gonna pull our car up here. You're more comfortable.
That's what they've been doing the whole fucking time.
Is that okay?
Like, just throw him on the ground, put cuffs on him, throw his fat ass in the back seat. It's that. It doesn't take 5 cops to have a struggle session in the middle of the road.
We can't let you in the car, man.
I want to grab it for you.
I just want you to tell me where it is.
Come on, man. Like,
I'm not trying to be difficult.
but I'm not trying to be difficult either, right?
We'll find it, okay? Here, just follow this officer.
Here, we'll go.
No, I'm honestly, I want an attorney. I want my attorney.
Sir, it's
We're going to
becoming
be
a whole
very nice
problem.
and very patient.
There's people here that probably need to get home, want to get home from work.
I really want to trust y'all, but
Oh, it's okay. Here, you want to open the door? This is on your turn.
Treating him like a child.
I'll
Oh.
sign the line there.
why am I opening my car?
What?
Why am I opening this door?
So you can take a seat so then we can take you to the street.
Because
we're
of
blocking
what?
so much
Because of
traffic.
what?
Because we're blocking traffic.
Careful. Watch your step. All right. Good job. There you go. All right.
This is going to be interesting.
Either a mayor or he was at a fundraiser.
We'll meet you at the top of the.
We're going to cut this here.
After finally being able to transport Nathaniel off the highway, officers continue their investigation.
All right, Nathaniel, you understand you're not under arrest, right? We're just coming here for your safety, okay?
Oh my
You have no
God,
medical
bro.
problems that you know about?
No.
You don't take any medication?
No.
Are you under the
And I
care?
wish I
They're
felt
giving
this
him an
for my
out.
safety.
Are you under the care of a doctor or anything?
No.
Any speech abnormalities, impairments
No.
you're aware of? So nothing wrong with your feet, your legs,
No.
your neck, your head? No recent head injuries?
No.
So no, you're a perfectly healthy individual?
Yes.
All right, let me ask you this. Do you have kids?
I have nieces and nephews.
Hey, would you drive a car with your nieces and nephews in it right now?
Yes.
You would?
I would.
What kind of fucking stupid line of questioning is this?
An informed professional would have to say that.
What does that mean?
I'm not going to do this game. Like, it's ridiculous.
Okay, so I want to make...
So let me say this.
Okay, go ahead.
No.
Yeah, dig your own
I'm not
grave.
some crazy person.
I'm not saying you're crazy.
No, I get that. I'm not gonna say. What you gonna say? This is dumb.
Okay, let me explain why we're here. You fell asleep in your car in the middle of the expressway in the middle lane. When we showed up, you were still sleeping. When I woke you up, you were very confused. I could smell alcohol in your breath. Did you understand why we might not let you drive your car, why we might drive you over here?
I hear you.
You've admitted you've been drinking.
I hear you.
I want to make sure that you're okay.
I'm perfectly fine.
But I have to make sure that I cannot let you drive until I can 100%.
And I'm not even trying to come for you.
Okay.
I hear what you're trying to say.
Okay. So do you want me to check you out real quick? I just check your eyes. You walk in a line. Do you want me to do that?
I don't find it.
I'm sorry?
I do not define it.
So what I want you to do is put your feet together, your arms down to your side, and you're going to keep your head perfectly still. Do not move your head, and you're going to follow the tip of my pen with your eyes and your eyes only. You understand?
He just agreed to a field sobriety test. He's about to go to jail.
Yeah, that's what you should have started with. Hey, wake up, get out, put your finger to your nose. Okay, you can't. Handcuffs gone. We're done.
Yeah.
All this fucking what are your speech normally like? I don't fucking care. Like this is so stupid. You got 40 motherfuckers standing in the middle of the highway playing grab ass with this fucking stupid fuck.
This is how this is how they get killed too. Like he not with this guy, but just playing with the Sunman suspects all the time. You're gonna eventually crap out. Okay.
Or get hit by a car.
Let me read this super chat right quick. Salute to JB, man. He says, yeah, well, when you're told every day that your shit situation is because of other people around you, this is what you get. This is exactly why they are canceling DEI and suddenly gain logic. Yeah, man. Facts. Just coddling, man. Coddling these motherfuckers, man.
Okay, good job. All right, can you come over here for me? We're gonna stand on this X right here. Sorry,
You want me to walk with you?
You want to walk with you? I will. So do you see that X? We're just gonna stand right there. Sure. Stand on it.
He is gay as he wants to be.
Here, stand on the X. You're ready to start from there, okay? But I need you to stand on there. Sure. So stand right here. Okay, walk forward. All right, now face the Walgreens behind you. All right, do you see this yellow line? Sure. All right, we're going to use that yellow line, okay? So what I want you to do is put your left foot on the line right in the middle of it and put your right foot directly in front of your left foot with the toe touching your heel, just like I'm doing.
Because that's going to stop a death in Chicagoland area tonight. Yes.
We're just making sure you're okay, Nathaniel, okay?
No, you're not. You're
it might.
sure that people don't die tonight.
You want to try this out?
I have no choice.
You do have a choice. But
no, I don't.
Let's just try it, okay? Okay, so put your left foot on the line. And put your right foot directly in front of your left foot with the toe touching your heel.
Look how he's standing, man. Yikes. He's standing like a straight hood rat at the bus stop, man.
Just like that, man.
You want me to do this?
Just like I got my feet, okay? So once you're in the position that I'm in with my feet, I want you to put your arms down at your side and stay like this until I tell you to start. You understand? So when I tell you to start, you're going to take 9 steps, just like this.
And I'm asking you, why is that?
2, 3. I'm sorry?
So if I'm giving you what you want,
okay,
why is that relevant?
These are to test to see if you're...
I want an attorney.
You want an attorney?
I literally want an attorney.
Okay, so you don't want to do this?
I think
He's not confident.
Because I don't understand the value of this. So I'm asking you for an attorney.
You want an attorney?
If you're asking me to do this, because honestly, I will do this all day long. And I will give you this. And I will say this. And I will say this. And I will say, obviously, this. But that's not enough for you. I don't feel what I'm doing right now is protecting of me. I don't think that this at all, none of this does anything. I don't have to do shit with this.
Do you want to take a breathalyzer?
I want an attorney.
Okay, can you put your hands behind your back for me?
And now you
Thank God.
Daniel, put your hands behind your back.
See what this is.
Yes, I'm getting a drunk driver off the streets. All right, you're under arrest for DUI, Nathaniel. Do you understand that?
I understand that I have to hire an attorney now.
Let's walk to my SWAT car. Okay. I have a seat in my car. Watch your head, Nathaniel. You're a little tall.
The suspect's full name is Nathaniel George Booker. Since May 18th, 2021, he has been serving as the mayor of Maywood, Illinois, a village located in the Chicago metropolitan area. In an exclusive statement in Midwest Safety, the mayor responded to the incident saying the release of the video to Midwest Safety is politically motivated since he is running for re-election this fall.
Fucking piece of shit. Scum.
Yeah, the mayor of Maywood. We gotta make sure that we interfere with the mayoral election in Maywood.
Well, I don't know if it makes that video worse because he was elected in 2021 and it's from 2022. So he didn't even last 1 year before having a DUI.
Falling asleep on the highway That is so dangerous, man. Like, that is so dangerous. Somebody could just be driving, not even think you're like not moving, and just rear end you at fucking 100 miles per hour.
Even though he's still serving as mayor in present day, a political divide regarding his reputation is growing amongst the people of Maywood. While some defend Booker, citing improvements in business operations in the village, others have spoken out against his alleged misconduct, leading to investigations into Booker. Allegations of workplace misconduct and overstepping his authority in violation of state statutes are some of the concerns amongst the local government officials, not to mention the arrest for suspicion of DUI, in which he was charged with driving under the influence of alcohol and obstructing traffic, resulting in the suspension of his driver's license. However, despite the serious concerns about Booker, he was still able to mitigate the punishment for his crimes, as he announced that the suspension of his license had been rescinded at a village board meeting on July 19, 2022. He stated that there was a lack of evidence to support a DUI charge. Let us know what you think about the decision to rescind the license suspension in the comments below.
Now, you may be a police officer or you could be a mayor. However, none of us are above the law. Hey guys, I'm John, and I sincerely appreciate you for.
You know, the thing is this: they don't realize that criminal record does not matter in Blackistan. On the contrary, if they're thinking that him having a rap sheet is gonna hinder his popularity, it's not.
Well, it just means to a lot of sons that they're fighting the white system, and the white system's trying to keep them. down.
He could definitely go that route, right? He could do what my beloved mayor does, where he invokes Jim Crow, the Civil War, you know,
redlining.
He could bring up Nixon for some odd reason, you know. But again, I told you yesterday, there's an alderman here who robbed the bank. Right? Who is not only an alderman, but he's like, I think they call him the deputy mayor. Think about that. The deputy mayor act before this Sunday, you know, their budget was $0. Now it's like 400,000. Right. And they're saying that, you know, our son mayor, it's like he gave him that budget for, you know, political reasons. For, you know, just politics, right?
I wonder where that $400,000 is going. I bet you, if you did an audit of that $400,000, you'd be shocked.
Yeah, they did say one of the things that I do remember it listed was he gets a vehicle and a driver. Oh, and a camera and a cameraman apparently.
The deputy mayor, man. Wow.
Yeah. AKA bank robber.
Yeah, that's all types of shady, man.
Did you hear about Stacey Abrams, Mark?
Yeah, I heard about that. We can get into that.
You know, but some people, like, I know there's some people that hear me on your show and they don't like me, right? Because I speak like I do, right? And they might say, well, what's wrong with his past? It's his past. Nobody's perfect. X, Y, and Z. Okay, whatever. I don't know. I guess it's an opinion. I don't know.
Did this man just get arrested and thrown in jail just for asking questions? That's what he believes, and that's why he's filed a new lawsuit. The case raises a lot of questions about Phoenix police, questions that already exist.
Questions about discrimination, retaliation, and violation of the First Amendment. Here's ABC 15 Chief Investigator Dave Biscobine.
So now this happened almost a year ago. Yep. February 6, 24, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And what happened that day at this bus stop in West Phoenix left William Kitchen under arrest and heading to jail.
Just like, oh my God, what did I do? You know, so it was a mix of emotions, from anxiety to confusion to just, I was perplexed, like, what happened? You know, what did I do?
This blurry body camera video begins with William already detained by police. The partial footage, about 14 minutes total, is all he was given after his arrest. So why did police stop him? Court records show officers were conducting an intensive operation at the bus stop and police say William obstructed the thoroughfare.
Is that true? No, there was no cars coming.
Shortly after being searched, police took William out of cuffs, gave him back his stuff, and had him sit. Then, to understand what had happened, he asked a plainclothes supervisor why he was stopped.
What was the ARS code that you said I violated? It was on the revised statute 13-29-16. ARS 13-0926? Close enough. What was it? I'm going to have an attorney look at it. What was it this time or what? I have legal shit. I have data responsible to our regard. I just want to know so that I can have them look at the statute and make sure that everything's before. Once the statute gets to that, it's going to be ready to go. Better name that. Can I have that? Great. Renee, put it back in class. We're looking. It's going to be all over the 16. Getting booked for obstructing the thoroughfare. It's getting booked for obstructing the thoroughfare. No, it's a legitimate code. It seems like you're incredulous about the code, sir. So you'll get educated time when you're judge. Freedom of speech. Very true. Allowed to ask what the code was. Freedom of speech. That's your right. Yes, sir.
William spent a night in jail, and it took months to get the charges dropped.
It was something that did not need to happen. Yeah.
Is that how you feel about this whole situation? It's just didn't need to happen?
It didn't need to happen.
Clearly, they're just trying to teach him a lesson.
Josh Cardin is William's attorney.
He literally just asked questions at core First Amendment activity and got thrown in handcuffs. They went for it.
Other than the First Amendment issues, he says there's other parts of the stop that stand out, parts we haven't shown you yet.
You can't look at this situation and ignore my client's race. You can't ignore the comments, the racially tinged comments made by the officers.
The comments come right at the beginning of William's detainment.
Are you a homeboy here, sir, Shaq? Go ahead and shake it down. You want to grab a bag for him? It looks like TJ Jeff, circa 1991.
What do you think about that?
Well, to refer to anyone based on a rapper or a singer and their characteristics is inappropriate and speaks to their lack of professionalism.
In the lawsuit, it also alleges William was stopped and cited under false pretenses. So in the probable cause statement to justify William's arrest, police wrote, a southbound vehicle had to abruptly slow down to avoid a collision with Kitchen. A vehicle driving northbound in the westbound turn lane honked the horn to alert traffic and to attempt to get Kitchen out of the roadway. But Cardin says the problem is those weren't regular drivers. They were police cars doing surveillance on the bus stop, and they honked in order to create a reason to stop William. Why wouldn't they just put in that it was their cars?
I think it's to hide the fact that they had no real reasonable grounds for putting my client in handcuffs and taking him to jail.
The end of this blurry body camera footage also reveals a unique twist in this case. William is not anti-police, someone out waiting and looking to sue. That night, he said he tried to de-escalate the situation by expressing support for the officers. You're suing the Phoenix Police Department, but you're pretty pro-police?
I am, yeah. I'm pro-police. I am independent-leaning conservative, and I have always been pro-police. You know, the officers put on their uniform, and, you know, they're doing this to serve their community, integrity, honor, you know, respect.
Renee, put it back in class. We're looking.
But the officers chose to escalate it through their actions, and I feel like I'm obligated as someone who went through that to hold them accountable.
I'm investigator Dave Biscobing, ABC 15, Arizona.
Phoenix police declined to comment for the story, but they will have to.
That was the dumbest story ever, man.
The top at 6 on
Yeah,
this
he's
Friday.
gonna
New
get a
details
payout.
on the Bethesda teen accused of firing shots at Bethesda Chevy Chase High School or near that school. He will remain locked up for now.
A Montgomery County judge making the ruling this afternoon, calling Nicholas Blanco a danger to the community. Bob Barnard, live tonight outside BCC with the very latest on this disturbing case. Bob?
Blanco.
Hey there, Sharon and Kenneth. There are actually 2 Bethesda Chevy Chase High School students charged in this case. One is a juvenile. The other is 18, facing 9 counts and the possibility of up to 25 years in prison if he was convicted. Here is a picture of him. He is, as you mentioned, Nico Blanco, 18 years old. He is charged with first-degree assault, reckless endangerment, and other firearm-related charges. Prosecutors say he brought a loaded gun to this fight caught on camera at a park near Bethesda Chevy Chase High School Wednesday morning. Prosecutors today showed the judge a photo they say is Blanco pointing a gun during the fight. Police later executing a search warrant at his Bethesda apartment where we're told no guns have been recovered, but police did seize the teenager's car from the garage at his apartment building. Now, we've spoken to Rex Garcia Hidalgo. He is president of the Bethesda Chevy Chase Boosters Club. He's plugged into the community, including students.
From what they tell me is that this kid is known to have a gun, and they know that he brings it to school. You know, obviously there's no detectors or there's no police anymore at school, so there's no, way to detect it. There was a scheduled rumble up at the park, Chase Park up here near CVS. And from what my sources tell me, it was over a sophomore girl. There was a dispute about a sophomore girl, and it was involved a bunch of seniors.
Anything to say? Now, Nico Blanco's father was in court but did not want to talk to us afterward. The teen's lawyer also would not comment on the case.
That man's got some, he cares, man. He ain't trying to, he don't want to be seen, man. That man got some pride, man. Shout out to him, man.
Shame.
He's prideful.
So, and that's coming, right from the president's mouth. Anybody who's listening to this needs to know that this is the Glenn Show. I'm Glenn for Times, where you talk about Black English and all of that. Oh yeah, the James one. Encourage that myth. And I know that Everett isn't saying that Black people made up Black English. I don't think. Huck Finn. That's something that gets around. It's not the same way as Everett's of domination. Mm-hmm. White woman says, "Did he look at me?" And the other guy says, "Oh, one's writing very detailed books about slavery. It's no longer America's secret." But you almost get inured to it. You think, well, there were people who were working without pay. There was whipping, but call up novel, as I feel side as good modern novels out there. I'm sitting with my wife and watching an hour or 2, sometimes 3 if it gets really interesting. And, having to teach for this whole Access Vantage. The department's thing that's going on. It's only been a month less than a month as we speak here, that Trump has been in office. Elon Musk and the Doge insurgency, I don't know what you want to call it, but it's definitely shaking things up. All of the controversial cabinet appointees like Tulsi Gabbard or Pete Hegseth or RFK Jr. have been confirmed as we speak and are assuming the helm in the departments. My friends here in New England are pulling their hair. We just had dinner with a good friend the other night, and all she wanted to talk about was the sky is falling, and I can imagine in your circles in New York City, a similar consternation and maybe even a bit of panic is afoot. I don't know. I'm asking. Yeah, in my circles, there is a great deal of panic. I'll try this. I've got Trump derangement syndrome. I shouldn't be your sparring partner here. Look at this. I mean, frankly, I have a hard time feeling like my problem with the idea of this man at the helm of this country was me getting my knickers in a twist. I mean, this is scary. He's putting thoroughly incompetent, underqualified people in positions of massive responsibility. There's his tweet.
Bro, shut the fuck up.
3 transgenders and his Biden's press secretary, Corinne Jean, his public face was a fucking dumbass idiot black chick that had to look in the fucking notes for every fucking question. You ask her what time it is, she got to fumble through the fucking notebook to find out what time it is. And he's talking about thoroughly unqualified people.
Yeah, I mean, these administrations have been failing over and over and over again, election after election. And now you have a team of people that are moving fast in a way that constituents have been arguing for, decades. And people all of a sudden have a problem with it. It just shows the vast majority of people are stupid and they don't really actually want anything to change. They just want to feel like their side is winning.
Yeah, these liberals. This is New York liberal, man. A New York liberal.
Leave yesterday, which goes along the lines of what is it? To save your country is not breaking the law. That's pretty extreme, and that's coming right from the president's mouth. This is him tweeting this out and saying that he's openly saying that laws will have to be broken so that the nation can be reinvented in the way that he chooses. And honestly, I wrote my Times piece saying that DEI, as we've known it since 2020, did need to go. They're going further than that. And this is a note I don't often strike, but they are sanctioning and letting pass a kind of actual verging on bigotry and intolerance of difference from whiteness and white maleness, but especially just whiteness, which even I
fuck is he talking
worry
about?
The presidential office is supposed to set a certain example in tone. It can only have so much of an effect, but it's supposed to reflect what the best in us can be. And the implication that we need to go back to the way we viewed normalness in roughly 1960, and that's really what seems to be going on. Let's get rid of all this shit and just go back to what we all know is real, is depressing. And I don't think that it's a matter of we're going to go back to Jim Crow or anything like that. But this is not ideal, what these people are promulgating. And then there's just the rank incompetence. And so we're going to get rid of the fraud, but they can't really identify any real fraud. We're going to get rid of this deep state. We've all wanted to know what that was. Now they're trying to do it. And the thing with Musk is, whatever his style, whatever his 13th, illegitimate child or whatever, he's not identifying any real fraud. This is all absurd. It's boys in a sandbox. I'm really disappointed. It's
now he's just lying.
Situation I've known in my adult life, and I remember being one of the people who was saying that about GW during.
This is the worst situation he said he's seen in his adult life. Yo, they're not handling well. I know a lot of liberals in DC, and they are not handling it well. Like you said, sky's falling. They're panicking about every move he makes. It's crazy, man. But here in Pennsylvania, everyone seems to be pretty cool, man. I don't Pennsylvania. I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm not in Philly though, but I'm in Pennsylvania. Everybody's just, nothing's changed. It's almost like nothing. You wouldn't be able to tell there was a new president. It was just everybody's just going about their life normal. But in DC, they're like, oh God, the sky's falling.
And the thing with Musk is, whatever his style, whatever his 13th, illegitimate child or whatever, he's not identifying any real fraud. This is all absurd. It's boys in a sandbox. I'm really disappointed. It's the worst situation I've known in my adult life. And I remember being one of the people who was saying that about GW during roughly the Iraq War. This is the worst it's ever been, which it was from the perspective of my lifetime.
So his two worst times in his adult life were when George W. Bush was president and now when Trump's president. I wonder why.
Because I was just a kid during Watergate. But this is horrible. This is absolutely horrible. Our country is being run. I'm not going to call him a name, but this isn't right. It's not right.
Yeah, I don't share your foreboding and alarm to the same degree anyway. I mean, I agree that there's some shaky stuff that's going on, and we'll see how these people do. Pete Hegseth as Secretary of Defense, he was at a security conference making pronouncements about Ukraine. I mean, he sounded okay from what I heard. I mean, he wasn't babbling or anything like that. I heard J.D. Vance in Munich giving a speech, and I thought it was a very effective speech. I mean, again, there are things that one could, and I'm sure you would disagree with about U.S.-European relations, but J.D. Vance sounded pretty competent in his exposition of their point of view. Doge is going through the bureaucracy. There is a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse in there to be rooted out, and you're not going to root it out with patting people on the back and whatnot. You're going to have to break some eggs. You're going to have to move fast and break things. I'm willing to give them, I'll give them 6 months and see how it shakes out. But that's just me. I'm so repulsed by what I take to be the corruption of the incumbent regime, the establishment regime around the issues of censorship, for example, around this diversity stuff, which was over the top. People overplayed their hands. I've said that here before. We're experiencing a backlash. Yeah, there's a lot of, pro-white, quote unquote, sentiment in the anti-DEI thing, but then there was discrimination against white people. There was in the spirit of the DEI, So I'm prepared to wait and see.
That was the spirit. That was never not the spirit.
How it shakes out. The people did vote pretty definitively. It wasn't a landslide, but it was a very convincing victory in that election. And, we're going to see.
Let's try this one.
He looks like he's going to cry.
Mass deportation with the idea that you're getting rid of a criminal element.
He
Now,
needs a hug.
I've even said this on the show before, and I'll say it again. I wasn't aware that there was a disproportionate number of crazy and criminal people coming over the border. Of course, there'll be some, but the idea that is most, or even say some significant proportion of Latino immigrants coming over the border. I've never seen the case made. Now, if what was going on was really that the Trump administration was making a greater effort than the Biden administration to get rid of criminal immigrants, okay, but there seems to be kind of an overreach and on top of, which means
that's literally what they're doing. The worst first. That's literally what they're doing. This is what liberals, they have to lie to, to justify their.
To feel good about themselves.
Yeah.
And they get their way. They're egomaniacs and they're low information people.
Yeah.
If you come across the border illegally, you are committing a crime. You're a criminal. A lot of these people also come over here and they get on welfare, right? And a lot of these people come over here and they undercut the labor market and they get jobs off the books and they don't pay taxes on that and they send all the money somewhere else. So there's multiple angles by which you can justify rooting these people out. And his petty little, well, they're not all murderers, is bullshit. These people are disingenuous liars, and they shouldn't be taken seriously. And this whole oh, well, liberals are spiraling. Good, let them spiral. Their opinions are irrelevant. They're not in power. They never respect anything conservatives have to say when conservatives are trying to make a point, so why should we care? Jump off a building.
Well, once the Glenn guy started talking, you could see that the other guy was just listening to respond.
I think I just gone, right?
What happened?
I think I stepped away for a second.
Now we gotta look at these two fuckers.
And then he was saying, the dude on the right was saying also, like, they haven't found any fraud. It doesn't need, the fraud part is not even what they're looking at. They're looking at how are we spending the money and if it makes sense or not. It doesn't matter if it's being funneled away to
Yeah, they play
some,
word games.
he's playing word
Absolutely.
games. He's trying to say, oh, well, it's not fraud, so they really shouldn't be touching what's happening with any of this money. Well, if we're spending billions of dollars on shit that is in part of programs that give illegals money so they can stay in hotels, we need to stop doing that. It doesn't matter if there's some legal channel by which we're allowed to do it. We shouldn't be doing it.
Climate change is a good example. They throw billions at it. I know it's not fraud, it's not waste, because we need to save the planet. It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it was a but even the social security issue, as far as all these people over 100 or even I think
Older
150 years
than the
old.
country of
Well,
the
yeah, there's
US.
dead people that are, there's checks going to dead people, and these checks are getting cashed, but they don't even know who the fuck is cashing these checks. And this is thousands of checks.
Even more incredible than that for me was US aid, right? Like all these programs, like I think they said in Chile or some shit, they had like money, a lot of money for like alphabet comic books. Did y'all hear about that one?
Yeah, they do that. We've
Oh, that's
been doing that
standard.
shit for years.
Yeah, it's standard. The UK does it as well. We had recently,
Tavistock
like
Institute.
I mean that's internal, but in terms of our international, because ours is Foreign and Commonwealth Office, then it's the International Development Department. So we were setting things up, like trying to set up a girl group in, I don't know if it was Somalia or somewhere in East Africa, and yeah, we have a whole litany of the most useless things
There's no
for soft
way.
power.
There's no way that Chile money wasn't going to somebody's pocket. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
most of
Like,
this shit is just like it's a dead end. The groups that are doing this stuff that get this money. There'll be some random address at some nothing building in the middle of nowhere, and then the money is just going back into some American
yeah,
politician's pocket.
exactly,
It's all
exactly.
horse shit.
Even again, the one like there was a bunch of incredible, mind-boggling shit, like the political subscriptions, right? It's like it's just disgusting how the liberals were moving. They say even when Trump was president last time, they were still doing that. So Trump said this time around, they're just like getting rid of them, period. So they don't like change the name of it and still do what they want to do.
Yeah, and I mean the program that Trump is using to audit all of this stuff was an Obama era program. It was a program Obama came up with in order to audit his fucking healthcare plan bullshit. And Trump just used the same language and allocated the funds and the personnel to grant access to government systems beyond that. But he's not operating outside of some legal framework that didn't already exist.
You can't help seeing it as motivated in part, at least, but if it is a part, it's a large one, of just wanting to get all these Latinos out of here because they're not legal and they shouldn't have come unless they were legal. And really, we kind of want to get rid of these people. You can't help wondering if it was Norwegians who had come in the same numbers, including the same proportion of criminals, whether they would want to eliminate them. But
Good question. Let's examine that. Let's take a deep look at that question. Fucking idiot.
The other thing,
I think at Crook
to watch,
County,
yes,
I think Crook County gave a good example of what he just said, right? In that all these Ukrainian or whatever refugees, right? As far as like arrests or crime, they were not nearly as visible as the Venezuelans. You know what I mean? Like the Venezuelans, you felt their presence because they was outside like crazy, right? And they were getting arrested for driving without a license. They were getting locked up for X, Y, and Z. Retail. Like so on and so forth. But the Ukrainians, I mean, Mama was the
Where
worst,
are they
bro.
even at?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they were
I have
nowhere
no
near.
idea where a single Ukrainian is being housed
In
at.
because I know they were in Chicago. From what I heard, the Ukrainian there was like refugees here, but you get what I'm and Crook County made that point. Remember that, Chief? You know what I mean?
Yeah, they white people. Yeah, they white people. They just act like white people. You know what I'm saying? Like they they live amongst they act like white people do everywhere. Like if you look at like he said Norwegians, like Norway's like one of the safest countries in the world. So of course they wouldn't have the same crime as like fucking El Salvador.
You know,
Yesterday,
I
or was
went
it
to
Friday? Yes.
I went to a suburb today, right? Like kind of like a west suburb, and I never been there, but I was like a bunch of like Eastern Europeans, like Serbians, and I was like, man, like those guys are gangsters too. Like the Serbians and the Eastern Europeans, they're known for
Oh hell yeah.
gangster shit. But they were also very calm. But I was looking at them, and I'm like, man, these dudes could be gangsters,
Albanians, they're the ones that are the
Right.
whites that are like the most gangster whites right now.
Seeing it as motivated in part, at least, but if it is a part, it's a large one, of just wanting to get all these Latinos out of here because they're not legal and they shouldn't have come unless they were legal. And really, we kind of want to get rid of these people. You can't help wondering if it was Norwegians who had come in the same numbers, including the same proportion of criminals, whether they would want to eliminate them. But the other thing is, to watch yesterday, was it Friday? Yes, Friday. What happened with Mayor Eric Adams, Mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, where the administration is transparently dropping charges against him that are clearly legitimate. He is a corrupt,
he's a black man,
inept mayor. He has not turned out well. And to see him actually on television with Tom Homans actually, baiting him, saying, if you don't do what we say, and he actually, says he's going to have his foot up his ass, kind of laughing, but the sight of that, and the fact that Homans is rather large and Adams is rather small, and there he is, black on TV, smiling in that big way, putting up with that condescension. Basically, they're saying, you help us do this, i.e. get rid of these shuddering, cowering Latino people, most of whom didn't do anything wrong except come here without papers, but they're not hurting anything while they're here. You're going to help us do that, and we're going to pardon you for crimes. This is the way things go, and this is openly said on TV. This is just the way it goes. I understand what you mean about breaking shit. There's a little part of me that watches all.
So
this guy is evil. Like, this guy is extremely evil.
But that's
I've never listened to this dude. He's awful.
It's literally a job. Your boss says you need to do this. If you don't, you're out of the job. Like, what's confusing about that?
Douglas Chunks, man. Shout out to Douglas Chunks. He says, funny how the people that are okay with all the inner city violent crime are the same ones that say illegal immigrant crime isn't worse than regular American crime. Yeah, man.
The way I see it is all the little games they play, political manipulation, getting the mayor to do what you want. All that stuff used to go on in the behind the scenes, backstage. This administration appears to just be doing it in the open. So it's fucking manipulation and all that. But it's the same game. They're just being transparent about it.
Yeah, I mean, last time I checked, I'm pretty sure Joe Biden pardoned a bunch of people, including family members, his entire fucking family, before he left. So this guy can suck a fucking dick.
And the original charges against this guy were politically motivated, dealing with immigration. Like
right, because he realized it was a lost cause and he was turning heel on it. And so then the liberals freaked out and turned on him. It's like, this is how the game's played, bitch boy.
Yeah, we're just undoing it. Salute the cool cat. He says, my bad, nation. My phone died. I'll be here in the chat. Much love. And to everyone, hope everyone weekend goes good. Thank you, for letting me up. Salute, man. Savage says, all I see is rabies when I look at these two progressives. All the guilt and compassion is to give away your ish. Sons taking advantage of people's goodwill and sympathy is sick as fuck. Well, one of them is a conservative, and the other one is the old one. This guy right here in the orange is conservative. This guy is, like he said,
flaming homo.
All this and things. Well, all right, but suppose it works. Suppose most of this ends up creating good. But I don't think it's going to when we see some of these things. What I saw was just, we're going to get all these Latinos out. And we're going to pardon you if you help us do it, little black man.
Oh, man.
Just their language, the language
Really
they
exposing
use is so
himself.
disingenuous.
Boy.
Little black man.
Like, that's his thought. That's how he sees the
Exactly.
world.
Exactly. He's projected.
And he would write an article. I mean, I think he said he writes for the Times. This guy probably makes over $100K a year, and he writes little bullshit articles like that contribute absolutely nothing.
The white women give him a pat on the
is
back.
very
the
large.
Latinos in Texas
Adams
who
is
voted
small.
for Trump want?
Let's talk about it.
You think
We see some of these things. What I saw was just, we're going to get all these Latinos out. And we're going to pardon you if you help us do it, little black man. I don't like it.
Man, what did the Latinos in Texas who voted for Trump want? You think they wanted more unauthorized entry into the country of people who were not legal, who could go to the appropriate border crossing place and submit themselves to the process of vetting for an asylum claim, but who instead chose to cross the Rio Grande at a convenient place and come into the country illegally? Anti-Latino, I mean, the idea that you would ask people, you want to come into our country, you do it by the processes that we have established for that purpose. And if you don't, you're breaking our laws, and we're going to deal with you by deporting you from our country. I don't see what's wrong with that at all. I mean, in fact, I'm not sure you're serious about enforcing your immigration laws if you don't deport people who break them. So if I get here, I'm here for good, and deporting me is an anti-Latino move. That's a posture that invites all the world to come into the country without authorization. So you're either serious about enforcing the immigration laws or you're not. You break the laws, there are consequences. And among those consequences are deportation if you don't have legal authorization to be in the country in the first place. Full stop. What's wrong with that?
Of course, what you just said would get you kicked out of most faculty lounges. I don't hear it that way. I know what you mean. Why couldn't they have just waited their turn?
He just said the quiet part. He said that will get you kicked out of most faculty lounges.
Yeah, and I mean that's not an argument. Okay, a bunch of fucking faggot liberals that work at a university and blow smoke up each other's ass every day don't like you. Whoop-de-fucking do. It doesn't mean they're right.
Yeah, he projected there. Like, that's how he operates. He doesn't want to say things that will get him kicked out of the faculty lounge. Fucking piece of shit.
Full stop. What's wrong with that?
Of course, what you just said would get you kicked out of most faculty lounges. I don't hear it that way. I know what you mean. Why couldn't they have just waited their turn? Why do they have to, be dragged across the river and come in and hide from the cops and live in abject poverty? And what happens if their kids get sick? How come they couldn't just come through?
And what has their being Latino got to do with anything?
I get that. And then the question, though, is, why did they come?
Answer the question.
How did they do that? Is it because they're scamps? Is it because they're criminals? Or is it because they were so desperate that they didn't want to wait the 2 years that it would have taken to do it in the legal manner? And so maybe we need to change our immigration procedures so that people who are desperate, I mean, imagine you probably have kids and you can't make a living, or there are people who want to kill you because you're on the wrong side of something in between those two things. You're desperate. And you're supposed to wait at the border for 2 years while people take care of your papers. I get why people would do it illegally. There must be a
He
reason.
just
in other
made
words.
up
Not that
a
these people are all
bullshit
unreasonable.
hypothetical scenario with no details. No
But also,
specifics, no context.
It's unfortunate, but it's not on Americans to care about other people.
And these people in
Like, it's
Mexico are
life.
not those people in Mexico are not like fleeing a war-torn region. They just want to come in because
they just think it's golden roads and free shit. I mean, do some of them work? But like I said, most of them are on welfare, and then a huge percentage of them are paid, and they aren't paying taxes on what they're paid. A lot of them get welfare. They get on welfare, and then they get a fucking job off the books, so they're double dipping.
He literally just said they can't make any money in their country. How the fuck? Who do you think they paid to get here?
And they also send money back too, you know?
Yep. Go to Cash Depot or Western Union. You see fucking burritos in the old Africans and no burritos in the old
and naughty. And so apparently there's a reason why you would do that. And so the solution is therefore, well, you didn't do it legally, and so we're just going to put you back there where you can't make a living, where you might starve, where you might be killed. Not to mention, of course, the temptation of the wealth here. And most of these people, from what I see, from what I hear, the idea is to give their children a better life that they never had, and they're only going to get so far. Do they deserve to be sent home? I'm not sure I understand why that's so urgent. You know, is our social system about to break?
Because there's millions and millions and millions of them.
Why not do things that we need done here? Kind of like back in the day, I remember being a kid and listening to some people, including my mother, saying, why are they spending all that money getting us to the moon? What's all this astronaut stuff when people are dying in the ghettos, as people used to say? There was something to that. Why do we have to do that? I was always a little perplexed by it myself. Astronaut, we're here on the moon. So what about fixing Detroit? Well, same thing here. Why get rid of all these people? Go ahead.
Remember The Last Poets? I think it's The Last Poets. It might be Gil Scott Heron.
This guy, he goes on just being more unhinged and more unhinged. But yeah, I just wanted to show y'all that liberals are not handling this well. Not at all, man. And I love it. I love it. That's why every day he kicks their asses.
It's what they deserve. Confusion, despair. Because it's what they brought on this country.
Yep. Yep. I'm happy, man. They are pissed. And he keeps making moves every single day. Like, he doesn't let up on them. And that's how you gotta do it. You gotta take a hard line. You gotta make them feel like they're spinning, their head is spinning. The second you give them a break, they're gonna fucking chop your head off. I'm glad that he's not giving them any break. Tomorrow's gonna be more executive orders. Next day it's gonna be this. This is gonna be that. You say this, you do that. Let's see what else is going on here, man. Okay, let's go here. Look at this.
Now the details at 5:30 about details of 3 rival groups accused of wreaking havoc around the city, especially in South Philadelphia. The district attorney's office says the crimes included innocent children being shot, carjackings, and 1 homicide. A large number of the shootings, according to investigators, were back and forth retaliations between these 3 gangs. Action News reporter John Paul live for us now at the DA's office with more on this extensive grand jury investigation, John.
Yeah, Shar, officials here are calling this one of the biggest criminal takedowns in city history. We're talking 12 suspects, 31 victims, and 1 16-year-old who they say is still on the run tonight.
These are kids. These are young people doing horrific things.
Tonight, investigators revealed a slew of arrests in a bloody gang war that dates back to 2021. 12 suspects ranging in age from 16 to 21, alleged members of 3 separate gangs. Police connected them to 1 murder and more than 24 shooting victims across Philadelphia. That includes this shooting on Norris Street in Strawberry Mansion in February of 2023. 7 people were shot. The youngest victim was just 2 years old.
It's almost just stunning to talk about so many people in their teens involving themselves in this, bragging about this.
Tonight, police are still looking for one suspect. This is 16-year-old Javon Solomon. He's wanted in connection with this shooting in 2023 on Jackson Street. Police say the 12 suspects were part of criminal gangs that targeted each other. When asked why, one detective said the suspects saw the whole thing as a game.
On social media, they compare it to a basketball game. And how that works is for every shooting victim, they say they have a point.
The arrests announced today mark one of the largest criminal takedowns in the city.
Just think
12
about that, man. You can't fucking just gloss over that.
Yo, that was a hell of an intro to the segment, by the way. It just sounded like some kind of like horror movie, you know? Like Escape from New York or something. Escape from Philly.
Yeah, these kids are savages, man. This is a game. This is like a basketball game, and like the psychopathy of that, the sociopath. Like think about it like that.
The culture of that.
Yeah, it's like you go out in public and you shoot somebody, and you just in public and you hit the wrong person and shit.
Yeah.
And you just go sleep like a baby that night. And you talk about it on social media, and it's like, y'all missed.
You rap
Y'all
about
didn't
it.
get, y'all didn't get one of us. Y'all hit a man. Y'all hit somebody was walking down the street. That person wasn't with us. Y'all, you clowning them over that shit. And it's like, all right, don't worry, we're gonna get our point back tonight. And then they come around and they shoot again, try to get their point.
It wouldn't be so bad, Ike, if like they had like their own kind of arena. You know, like if they want to do this to each other, I don't think anyone is opposed to that. Anybody with half a brain is not opposed to that. But the issue arises that they just like these clowns are like existing amongst us. Like they're like meeting girls, impregnating them, leaving them. Now there's another little shit head that we gotta like think about in the future. They're shooting people, they're robbing people, so on and so forth, man.
Yeah, they're doing it, and they're doing it on Main Street. Main Street is there. It is crazy. It's kind of like if fucking the NBA game was held at the local rec center and shit. It's like it just or at the fucking, you know what I'm saying, the outdoor basketball court in your area. It's like they just are doing this shit in like the most brazen way.
And it feels like their culture. I'm talking about specifically that shit had sun culture, right? Not like this specific brand of sun culture. It's so Main Street, you know, like you have glider kids, glider boys.
Like I said, it's little niggas that's doing this shit that will sit next to Taylor Swift at the American Music Awards.
Exactly. I mean, look, again, you have glider kids in America imitating these clowns, and then on top of that, you have like kids in there was that one country we saw. I think it was like Iceland or some shit, where like they had immigrant son words drill rapping.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a mind fuck.
The mainstreamness of it is like, I mean, what are white people to do? If they shun it, then they're racist. If they kind of like just let you niggas like, all right, let one of them niggas do the Super Bowl halftime. Then it's like, oh, white people are racist. White people didn't like this halftime show, so they're racist. Like it's white people just gotta just let this shit go.
It'd be nice, man. It'd be nice if the gliders stopped got over that like racist word and just handled it. Because again, it reminded me of a video from the train yesterday, right? Where like the glider king got robbed. Look, I don't think there's tough glider men out there, and gliders can fight. They're big dudes, you know what I mean?
That guy wasn't. That guy
That guy
was.
wasn't one of them. No, that guy wasn't one of them. But my point is, no, that guy would have got himself murdered then and there. But my point is, the gliders could handle it
Oh yeah,
immediately.
without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. Like I mean, listen, in prison, the Aryan Brotherhood makes up 0.5% of the population, and they account for 30% of the homicides.
And apparently they also make the best weapons. They're like very creative in the way they create
So it's like
stabbing weapons stuff.
when it's wartime, or when it's, you know what I'm saying, time to mobilize or organize or militarize, white men, they're very good at that. So it's like it is what it is. They're very good at that. So yeah, they could easily, I'm talking about easily, stomp this out. But you know, you also have the original sin, so the guilt over slavery, and you know, the guilt.
A lot of these gliders are not even from that lineage though. A lot of these gliders are from Ireland and fucking Italy,
Italy,
and
yeah,
it's like they don't have
definitely.
nothing to. I mean, it's just so frustrating to see this culture that we're seeing on the screen just be allowed to grow and ensue chaos.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, what can you do? Like, what the fuck can these people do, man? I mean, they've cut the murder rate in Philly down by 400. They had like 600 a couple years ago. Now they having like 200. That's why I say I like the mayor. The mayor, she's made the prosecutor. She made that guy, let him go, Larry, do his job. And they've cut the murders by like 400.
Mr. Softy.
Yeah, and it's safe.
Mr. G.
Relatively. Yeah, it's relatively safe, but this is still going, like, first, in a relatively black city, safe black city, this is the norm. Like, this is a relatively safe black city now. And you just have wild shootouts every day between kids. But here's the thing, you heard 31 victims and only one murder. So because of their lack of precision, you know what I mean?
And also again, credit to the
Trauma
society,
center.
the
The
trauma
trauma center, the
centers,
EMTs.
the culture of like the scoop and runs that these cops
Yeah,
currently have over there.
exactly.
I mean, that number, the Summit can't shoot. We know that, but that number of kills should be higher, chief.
Yeah, if
Even
it
though
wasn't
they
for the
can't.
EMTs. Yeah, EMTs, like I said, scoop and run, EMT, trauma center, trauma surgeons, the best surgeons in the world. The best surgeons in the world are literally in these democratically run cities.
I mean,
Great practice.
think about how many of these clowns that should have passed on and didn't. How much terror that they create after that? 'Cause they should
Yeah.
have been gone, but they're still around, and now they get to get their lick back or something.
Yeah, you patch some you patch some Sun Man up. Some Sun Man got hit with 13 bullets and shit. You save his life, give him what 18 bags of blood, transfusions and shit. Fucking give him
Right.
fucking all types of shit, and then he goes out
The
and
man
fucking
hours,
shoots
the man
somebody.
hours,
He's fucking
right. All the man hours dedicated to keeping
his
them
rehab,
alive, right?
his
Right.
rehab.
Yeah, after the fact, keeping them, his rehab. It's just it's a lot. It's just a lot to take in if you really.
Yeah, you
Again,
donate some blood. You want some white guy, you go donate. Hey, honey, let's go donate some blood
right,
to our civic duty. Hey, that shit is going to some fucking gangbanger, man.
right. But again, this mindset that me and you are bouncing back and forth, it's not. It doesn't feel like it's prevailing. It feels like the opposite. Like people that the popular opinion is not. It's against us, right? these people are like human beings, and we failed them, and they have potential of, I don't know, something. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to
That's
say?
Juice Crew social engineering.
But he is right, though.
Maybe.
Rap music.
That is the view, the predominant one, unfortunately.
What?
That what Wicked just said, that we failed these people and blah, blah, blah.
They have potential and they're human beings. And
Yeah.
when we know that, look, look, to a degree, even maybe I agree. However, when you have motherfuckers opening fire in a crowd so carelessly, I don't know what we could do with that.
Yeah, it's really bad, man.
Well, I think America probably does the best job that you could expect of any country that has this many black people in it. I mean, when you look at it that way, like the country's doing a phenomenal job of cleaning up the messes.
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't say phenomenal.
Comparatively to like could the Philippines do this? No, they couldn't handle this shit. They'd just have
No,
to.
they would stomp it out.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
They would shoot on sight.
No, my point is like there's no better country that can do this in a nice type of like hands-off glider
Western
type.
way. You mean a Western way, a glider way?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Which is not good.
No, they're
not
doing
good.
better than UK. Yeah, they're better than the UK. I think they're better than Canada, are they?
Yeah, well, we don't have sons in Canada, so it's not really the same thing.
Yeah, you don't
have sons in Canada. You have so many what do you call it? You have Caribbean people.
Yeah, we got
the Somalis like getting there, the Eritreans.
The Somalis are a problem, but still, just there's not like a critical mass, and also like it's fucking cold up here, so that I think does a lot of work to like keep the sun man kind of like inside and not outside killing everyone. Because like think about it, you have all these fucking sun men in Florida, right? That means every day of the year they're on the Savannah Plains, just like their ancestors were, ready to rock.
I love. Let me see Canada's most wanted, man. Let's see. Let's see.
Now, we also have a list now of Canada's top 25 most wanted fugitives. They are career criminals, drug traffickers, murderers on the run from the law. In the top two spots, two men in Canada from Quebec, police want off the streets. CTV's Quebec Bureau Chief Geneviève Beauchemin now on the list and the rewards being offered. Jen.
Well, Sandy, the top two wanted men are at the heart of a violent conflict here in Quebec, but they could be anywhere. With life-sized cutouts of their suspects in the background, authorities listed their fugitives.
Dave Pic-Turmel, notre nouveau numéro 1.
Top of their list is Dave Pic-Turmel, suspected leader of the Blood Family Mafia, BFM, a gang in Quebec fighting a battle against the Hells Angels for the control of the drug trade. Number two is an ally of Turmel's, Al Boivin, linked to a series of violent crimes.
There's little doubt that, based on Bolo and the assessment we conducted, that these two individuals do represent like a high threat for the community.
On offer, a $250,000 reward for information leading to an arrest in each case. Also on the list of 25, a woman wanted by the York Regional Police in connection with the murder of a 16-year-old Quebec boy in August.
York Regional Police.
Look at all these sons that they trying to look at all, everybody else is a son, but they just
trying to like cover it up, man.
They literally just highlighted the only thing.
Only talking about the top three.
You should if you Google Toronto's most wanted, it's even more hilarious. Like it's really crazy, just the demographic split of it.
Yeah, they're so woke. They trying to like these white guys are the most dangerous motherfuckers in the country. And the next 23 are all black. But
damn.
And listen, that might be the truth. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it's not likely. It's not likely.
Is it the truth though? It's behind.
Yeah, it's not likely. It's not likely.
Regina Police Service, Saskatoon Police Service,
Today, more than 20 police services joined forces with Bolo, or Be on the Lookout, a nonprofit fighting crime.
There's about $1 million offered in reward just today. So there's about $1 million on the table for this specific top 25. So money's there to be paid out.
Since Bolo was set up in 2018, 30 of its files have led to arrests. Investigators say catching up to criminals is a community effort.
All it takes is one phone call, and we can apprehend these individuals.
Bolo focuses on social media.
Somalian, a fucking Parzam, that's a fucking, I don't know, what's that?
Pakistani.
Yeah, that's a
Desert Demon.
Tala Amar.
Yeah, it's basically we have our sons, and they could be from anywhere on the continent, plus desert demons. That's, I would say, the lion's share of the murderers in Canada. And when I say anywhere, like literally like Nigeria, Somalia, Sierra Leone, Congo, like fucking literally any country in sub-Saharan Africa, you will find representation of it.
Yeah, because they'll have Commonwealth connections. But yeah, so that's when you were saying that sons aren't that big a problem in Canada. I was like, I'm sure they are.
Oh no, no, of course they're going to be represented in the same percentage, but it's relative to their population, so they haven't hit critical mass yet. But yeah, no, they're going to be just as violent in USA. Why wouldn't they be?
Oh man,
I mean,
wow.
Pantheon. I'm assuming the UK has the same bullshit. Like we would see the same thing, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, our issue, obviously, which I always harp on about, is more like desert demons and just their infiltration. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's normal. It's the kind of teenage gangs, which in a way they kind of sort themselves out by stabbing each other. It's only when they then connect with the wider community, then there's a slight issue.
Yeah, we don't have like a gang type of thing with the desert demons in Canada quite yet, at least. We don't have like organized shit that you have going on in the UK, which is a nightmare, I'm sure.
Wow.
Well, Islam kind of can substitute as a gang.
No, that's what I mean. Like we don't have a critical mass of Islamic desert demon like gang style groups in Canada, at least not that I know of. But I know in the UK, this is like you're essentially growing like a country within a country there.
No, absolutely.
Any final thoughts, man?
Thanks for letting us speak on your panel, Hawk.
All right, man. Same Black time, same Black channel. Out of here. Subscribe.
Salute.